Happy Halloween, everyone, and happy Tuesday. It is still fantasy football season. So, we're here to talk about all the waiver wire pickups you need to make because despite being a national holiday, waivers still run on Tuesday for a lot of you, maybe Wednesday for some. You got trade questions, early start sit, or maybe you just want to talk trade because today was also the trade deadline. We had a few deals. I don't think any of them really categorized as major deals, at least not that would affect fantasy football. No, Devontae Adams didn't get traded, neither did Derrick Henry, any big names like that. But there's some little minor moves that might be interesting for you. So we'll talk about those in a minute. Of course, we're going to answer all the questions that we can that you guys have. We already got several lined up. If you use the super chat feature, guarantee we will put your question on the screen and we'll definitely talk about it as long as needed. We'll answer some others as well. So, first of all, it's spooky season. What's the best way to celebrate Halloween? Favorite candy bar? Go.
Candy bar or just candy?
Or just candy, I guess.
I mean, I have so many favorites. It's hard to say. Reese's peanut butter cup, Snickers. If we're going outside chocolate, I guess maybe Swedish fish. I don't know. I just love candy.
Yeah, there's not too many I don't like. I'm not a fan of the sour stuff.
No
give it to
sour
me
stuff.
sweet.
Yeah,
and I'm chocolate over fruit. The best candy to me is whatchamacallit. It still reigns supreme.
All right.
Reese's Pieces are good.
Reese's Pieces, not the peanut butter cup, the actual little pieces.
The pieces. I like them both, but like the Reese's Pieces, the Butterfinger, anything with peanut butter is good, which is ironic because my daughter's allergic to peanut butter, but it's okay. I can still eat it. All right. Favorite movie to watch on Halloween? I'm going to take a guess.
Right here. A tradition. Every year. I've seen it. I can pretty much quote the whole movie. I literally just watched it the other day. I'm going to watch it again tonight. It's the perfect Halloween movie.
There's no argument against that. And there's no argument anyone could possibly make against Halloween on Halloween. So, yeah. The new movies, though, the newer movies, you're not.
No, the original 1978, John Carpenter. I will also watch Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2. It's not as good as the first one, but it's at least an exact continuation from that. So I'll watch it. But that's like, every now and then I'll watch like Halloween 4 or Halloween 5 if I just like whatever, I'm in the mood. But the original Halloween, the original.
Yeah, I'm just a fan of pretty much any horror. Zombies, my preferred genre, and so you can tell I finally got around to something that honors the legend of Lucio Fulci. I know you're a Giallo fan too. The Italian horror movies are so underrated, but Fulci zombie is the best zombie. Dawn of the Dead, the original, is next. And I just made my other daughter. She's a teen. She's 16, so she's old enough. She watched. I showed her Phantasm because it's too good not to watch.
Oh, it's not even that bad. That's not like super.
No. It's pretty tame compared to what's out there nowadays. So
exactly,
it's a classic.
It's pretty tame.
All right. So what's that?
It is a good movie though. Good movie. Fantastic. Great music.
It's very entertaining. Very entertaining. The tall man, underrated villain. All right. So besides being Halloween, trade deadline. Now let's break down some of these deals. I guess we'll start with one that really doesn't impact fantasy, even though maybe if you play an IDP league, it's possible. But this is your team, your Commanders fan. Chase Young is gone. And of all the teams that needed help, on defense, it was obviously the 49ers, right? So Chase Young, the rich get richer, and the Commanders, I guess they're sellers, which means what for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I don't know what it means. I mean, I guess the writing was on the wall for Chase Young when they didn't pick up his fifth-year option, but yeah, and Montez Sweat, they're both gone. So I guess this Commanders defense probably going to be pretty friendly for fantasy going forward now. I mean, yeah, you remember back in the day during that draft, we were streaming live, and I wanted them to take Tua. I was pretty much everybody was like, Chase Young, he's the safer pick. Yeah, when you can take a potential franchise quarterback, you take the franchise quarterback. You don't take a defensive end. You don't take an edge rusher. I mean, not the edge rusher isn't important, but how would this franchise look right now with Tua instead of Sam Howell instead of Chase Young? So, I mean, they don't even have Chase Young anymore. So, yeah.
Think a guy who's supposed to be a generational pass rusher like Jadeveon Clowney. He didn't turn his franchise around. He's bounced around the different teams. It's not a sure thing. You think, well, quarterbacks don't always pan out. Defensive players do. Not always. Defensive players don't always pan out, even pass rushers. Right. So it's hit and miss. You never know. But for fantasy purposes, you're right. Washington defense was already a pretty good stream against with wide receivers and quarterbacks. Just imagine now going forward. I mean, It's going to be even better. I'm really surprised, though. The 49ers were already good. Why did the Bears trade a second-round pick to get Sweat? I know he's still pretty young, but it's just interesting to see the Bears as buyers.
Yeah, I don't know what the Bears are doing. And then there was rumors they were going to trade Johnson, but they didn't. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the Bears are. Who knows what the Bears are doing? I don't know.
I mean, I guess this makes their defense a little better, and they didn't trade Johnson, who was their best corner. It's weird, though. I don't know if they have a direction, but yeah. Okay, so little minor moves here. We did talk about this in a hypothetical sense, and it happened. Josh Dobbs to the Vikings. All right, so he's not Kirk Cousins. We know this. But it is going to be Jaren Hall this week. That's what they announced. The starter this week is Jaren Hall, but you got to assume the only reason you would trade for Josh Dobbs is the rest of the season is going to be Josh Dobbs. So does that make you feel any type of way about Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson coming back?
I mean, I guess it's probably better. I mean, I guess there's one of two things that happens, right? Jaren Hall goes out there and has a Will Levis game. And then it's like, oh, might be good, right? This might be okay. Or he doesn't, and then we get Josh Dobbs, who at least we know is kind of capable. But look, there's been a lot of meat left on the bone for Hollywood Brown this year. There just has. So it's not as good as Kirk Cousins. So it's not as bad as maybe Jaren Hall or Sean Mannion or Nick Mullins when he comes back from IR, whoever it was going to be. But still not great.
Yeah, I mean, at least we can feel that if Hall goes out there and just looks awful, just not NFL ready, they have a guy who, can get the ball to his receivers. Addison will still be startable. The defense will, defense is not good, but the defense will keep them enough in games where, the offense won't just have to pass and, go crazy. Josh Dobbs, not looking great these days, but at least, he was supporting some fantasy relevant receivers. So I guess it's still okay. Addison, you don't have to be totally scared off of him.
Right.
And then I'm not sure if this makes any sort of impact, but Donovan Peoples-Jones for some reason was traded. There was talk that Cleveland might trade for a receiver. Instead, they traded away a receiver and he went to Detroit. Why?
I don't know. They have no faith in Jameson Williams. I don't know. I don't know. I'm surprised anybody traded for DPJ, but I mean, they must see something they like in him. It doesn't move the needle for me in fantasy, but the Lions must like something about him.
Well, I think what they like is that he's good at blocking. Honestly, that
could be.
He's out there. If you look, if you want to look at the snap rates and how often a guy's on the field, Donovan Peoples-Jones constantly led Cleveland in snap share. He's out there all the time, and he never gets targeted. He's just blocking. I mean, that's what he's doing. So he's there, and he is running some routes, but he's obviously not catching too many. So that's all I can think of is just got him for that reason. And he did go to Michigan, didn't he not? So going back to Detroit.
True.
That's it. Unless I missed something. Anything else in terms of fantasy that we care about for trades? I think that was it.
As usual, NFL trade deadline, not as exciting as we hope. And a lot of these guys that we hope get moved rarely do. So, yep.
No big names on the move, which means it is as it's going to be. All right, so you don't have to worry about your big name players and your teams switching zip codes. They're still pretty much all intact. Might have questions, let's get to those because we do have some. I know you guys are about to be busy either trick-or-treating or answering trick-or-treaters or doing some tricks or who knows what you do on Halloween. But here's what you should do. Let me tell you this, whether it's tonight or tomorrow or just sometime this week, you should sign up for Underdog because I'm telling you, this is the best time. You still get that 100% deposit match, and it's up to $500. And once again, I stress this is not forever. It was always $100, and then they extended it. They're going to do this for a short time. We don't know how long exactly. It is a limited time. So up to $500, you get matched dollar for dollar. Everything you put in there up to 100%. Just, of course, you have to use promo code ENDGAME when you sign up. We also have a link down below that you can click. It takes you there. And there's also, it's a special right now. It is for Thursday night's game, Kenny Pickett, because he is going to play. He said it himself. He told reporters, I'm playing. So I'll take his word for it. Don't think he'd be allowed to say that if it wasn't true. Kenny Pickett's going to play. I think he'll get a yard. If you do take the higher on half a total yard, you get a free pick there, basically, Kenny Pickett on Thursday. And then you combine it with any other pick, and you can triple your money. You just need to get one thing right. All sorts of options for you there for football, every single game, every single sport. It's all there. So check out Underdog if you haven't yet. This is the perfect time while you're sitting around on the porch waiting to hand out candy. Put some picks in for Underdog. Snag a random piece of candy for yourself. Make sure, you stay hydrated too. All right. Let's get to some questions here. Dan, we talked about the Vikings and Josh Dobbs. So he's a Jefferson owner. What is his outlook on the season now? I mean, I would think if Dobbs was acquired, again, not that this is an earth-shattering move, right? They didn't trade for not that Ryan Tannehill's earth-shattering, but they didn't trade for a big-name quarterback or somebody like that. But you'd think this means they're not tanking.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think they would tank. I know a lot of people's immediate reaction was, well, they're just going to shut down Justin Jefferson now. But they're 500. I mean, why? It's not like they're winless or only have one win. They're 500. They're competing with the Saints, the Packers, and the Bears. Like, that's not a division that you look at and think like, well, we're out. Like, that's a very winnable division. So yeah, I mean, first of all, I never thought even if they weren't in contention, Justin Jefferson wouldn't come back. Like, I'm sure Justin Jefferson wants to play, and I'm sure if he's healthy, they're gonna have their star out there. Look, Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, with all due respect to Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, I mean, the numbers Justin Jefferson has put up since he's come in the league is something we've never seen before. So I still feel like he can be okay even with Josh Dobbs. But you can't feel as good about it. It's still Josh Dobbs. And like I said, like we saw it last night in that game. By the way, now, did you see the Jimmy G throws? Because we didn't get to see it because we were filming. Now I'm really tilted that I lost to you with Devontae Adams because, dude, wide open for touchdowns. It is not even close, but that's what you get with Jimmy G. And that's kind of what you get with Josh Dobbs, too. And that's why, Hollywood, there's going to be times where Justin Jefferson is wide open for a touchdown. Josh Dobbs is going to miss him. He's going to miss him. He just is. It's why he's Josh Dobbs. It's why he's been traded twice in the same year. So, yeah, I mean, it's better than some fifth-round rookie from BYU, probably. It's better than Nick Mullins or Sean Mannion, but it's still not fantastic. So, probably you can't consider him like the number one wide receiver when he comes back, but probably still top 10? 10? Can we drop him outside the top 10? Probably not, right?
No, I can't drop him outside the top 10. But I mean, there's no way I'm going to say I'll put him above Tyreek Hill.
No.
I mean, I would say Cooper Kupp, but who knows with Matt Stafford now. But still, and yeah, I'm not going to say he's going to be number one because obviously the Cousins-Jefferson connection was pretty strong. And they're just not going to throw as much. They're not. When you have a guy like Kirk Cousins who's used to throwing it a ton, got the strong arm, they're just not going to. This is a move that's going to help Vikings more in real life than it will in fantasy. Remember, one thing that was kind of propelling Dobbs in terms of fantasy was that he can run. He can take off.
Yeah. We can't hear you. You're still muted.
Good.
All right, there we go. Oh, okay. Dog's going nuts there.
Hey, you read this since my dogs are going insane.
Okay, so we need a tight end. Report on bye. Drop Palmer or Rice to pick up McBride or Logan. But if you're going to drop one of those guys, I think it's got to be Palmer. He's got a tough matchup this week, dealing with a knee. I just don't feel like people are going to be rushing out to pick up Palmer. And I'm going, I like both these guys this week, but I'm going McBride over Logan. Plus, I think you'll feel better about McBride rest of the season, although you don't really need him because you have Laporta. But I'm still going McBride over Logan Thomas.
I like McBride. I've been talking about him. I'll talk about him again on one of this week's videos, most likely. As far as dropping Palmer or Rice, which one to drop? Probably would have to be Palmer for right now for the short term. It's pretty close. I think I would probably drop Palmer. You're starting Keenan Allen already. I mean, that's fine. Have DJ Moore Higgins. I mean, it's okay. I mean, you're not going to miss Palmer.
No.
Would you drop Rice to pick up Gus or Johnson? Is that Deontay Johnson?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think you
Johnson.
got to pick up Deontay Johnson. But man, I hate dropping Rice. But I guess if Deontay Johnson's out there, then
you won't miss Rice.
No one's going to pick up Rice.
All right, he says it's a 10-team league. That's why guys like that are out there. He's got Monty Ford, Bijan, Cook, and Madison. So,
I would drop Madison for Gus, honestly. I would drop Rice for Deontay and Madison for Gus. I mean, if somebody wants Madison, have him. He's yours. Take him. Take him.
That's a good point. I would rather have Madison than Gus. I mean, Gus than Madison. You drop Madison for Gus. Michael Cazares got Myers, Laporta, Johnson, and White for Eckler and Puka.
Give me Eckler and Puka. I mean, you're talking about – I mean, I still think Myers will be okay. I think he'll be fine. You're talking about a tight end, okay. Like, you're talking about four, like, what I would consider, like, good players for an absolute stud and another good player. So I'm going to take the stud here. I mean, I'm assuming if you're trading Laporta, you have another option at tight end. So it's probably not a big hit for you. Look, maybe you have a better tight end, right? There's a lot of teams out there who already had a stud tight end and then just picked up Laporta on waiver wire. So maybe you have Andrews and Laporta, Kelsey and Laporta, something like that. Yeah, I think just getting Eckler and Puka is worth it to give up these players.
Yeah, just to get Eckler, it's worth it. I mean, Laporta's good, but again, he's not Travis Kelce. So I think this is fine. Even if you have to stream tight ends, I would do it. All right, and then Ramu got an interesting trade offer here. Get Pollard and DJ Moore to give JJ. Now with the news, Dobbs is going to be the guy. You down enough on JJ? Is this enough to get back?
The thing is, we're talking about, like, what are we getting from Pollard? I mean, DJ Moore, we need Justin Fields back. When is that going to happen? I mean, is that even going to happen before JJ comes back?
Would you counter? He's saying that the other guy has Barkley, Monty. I doubt you'll get Barkley. Monty, Nico, Devontae, Addison. Would you swap out DJ Moore for like Devontae if possible?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe Pollard and Devontae. I might do it.
I think that's reasonable. You get Pollard. Yeah, you could use some help because Brees, I guess, is your number one running back and Hunt is your number two. Yeah, I mean, you could use a guy like Pollard. I would say that. Try to counter for a Devontae. I actually wouldn't even mind getting Nico instead of DJ Moore. All right, another trade. Marcus, WJ, is saying he traded Pollard, Olave and Schultz for Sun God and DJ Moore.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm going to look at this as Pollard and Olave for Amon-Ra and DJ Moore because Schultz, I mean,
It's like a streamer.
Yeah. I think this is a win. I mean, definitely take a Monra over Pollard. I still take Olave over DJ Moore, but look, when Fields does come back, it might get close. It might even lean slightly towards DJ Moore. We'll see. So, yeah, I think this is a win. I think this is definitely a win.
Yeah, you gotta like the way he looked, even with that illness. Did not matter. Pollard, Olave. I mean, you trade away Pollard. Obviously, he's not an integral part of your team. Unlike the last one where Pollard would slot in as the number one running back, he must not be your number one or maybe your number two. So I think this is good. I think it's fine. Mary Jo has QBs on bye this week. She needs to win. Going Howell or Mayfield?
Definitely Howell. Definitely going Howell here.
Yeah, I think I don't even need to think about the matchups here. It's got to be Howell.
Yeah.
Mayfield has just been whatever, and especially lately. Howell is throwing so much, and we just talked about this. You've got to think with Washington defense now getting significantly worse after trading away their two best pass rushers, you might have to throw it even more. I mean, I'm going to go Howell. I think Howell might be a surprisingly strong play the rest of the season. So
yeah,
if I remember, I
so
want to say Mary Jo has Goff. I think she's been playing Goff, so that's fine. But you can play with him. Joe's got the number 2 waiver wire priority. Chuba over Fournette.
Yeah, definitely Chuba. He looks like the lead back here. I mean, he looks like the guy. Like it looks like they've given up on Sanders. So yeah, give me Chuba over Fournette for sure.
Yeah, at this point, we can still safely say most guys over Fournette, but definitely Chuba. All right, waiver. Which one first? This is Jedi Koth, by the way. For the Sam Laporta buy, McBride or Kincaid? Ooh.
I still got to go Kincaid. He looked great. He's in the better offense. He's got Josh Allen thrown to him, not Clayton Tune. So I'm going Kincaid over McBride.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kincaid. I mean, I like McBride, but Kincaid, like you said, definitely the better offense. Even Kyler come back, I don't think I would prefer McBride because, he's not a guy who typically throws to the tight end a ton. If Kincaid is really going to be an important part of this offense, which it looks like they're trying to make him, he could be startable just rest of the season going forward.
Yeah.
The Cardinals I thought they were in a smash spot. Apparently not, which, by the way, guys, if you did watch the running back video and you noticed a little gaff on the matchups, that's my bad. I don't know what happened. Got mixed up between the Cardinals and the Browns and the Packers, that whole thing. So I was all excited. I thought Jay McBride was going to face the Rams. Maybe that's what it was. I was like, this is it. Going to smash. But, yeah, just ignore that whole thing. Matthew Miller, how do you feel about Keenan and Ramondre for Brandon Ayuk and Mixon?
I think I want the Keenan side. Ramondre and Mixon feel very close to me. 2 guys, you can play them. You never feel great about it. Every now and then they come through for you. But I definitely prefer Keenan Allen over Ayuk. Especially Keenan Allen's already had his bye. Ayuk hasn't. That's huge. You don't have to worry about that. Like, Keenan's going to play. And like Debo coming back after the bye, which is this week, probably. So I think I got to prefer Keenan Allen over Ayuk, and Stevenson and Mixon are close. So just give me the Keenan Allen side.
It's interesting. Keenan and Ayuk, both guys, very similar. Both start out on fire, had a couple of huge games in the first 4 weeks and have cooled. Keenan did put up decent numbers because a lot of fourth quarter usage this last game. But, yeah, Keenan obviously not wrecking like he was the first couple of weeks. Remember when Justin Herbert was the number 1 quarterback and Keenan Allen was number 1 receiver after like 3 weeks? Yeah. Ayuk also, because Brock Purdy hasn't looked that good lately. But like you said, I think there's more questions with Ayuk. This one's pretty close. I think this is not, it's not bad on either side, but I would take the Keenan side too. What about this? Matt wants to know, trade Barkley for Kenneth Walker.
No, I'm keeping Barkley. I'm not fully saying that like Zach Charbonnet, is overtaking Kenneth Walker. It's still a possibility, or at least a possibility that maybe it becomes closer to a 50-50, but I'm not ready to say that yet. But there's nobody taking touches from Saquon Barkley. And look, I don't love Daniel Jones, But at least with Daniel Jones back, they have a real NFL offense, right? Like last week, I mean, it was literally like they might as well just told the Jets, we're just going to hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley every time. I mean, the Jets knew they weren't going to throw the ball. They at least are going to have a real NFL offense again. So, yeah, Barkley, he catches passes too, which Kenneth Walker really doesn't do. Yeah, definitely prefer Barkley to Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. If you're trading away Barkley to get Walker, no, it's not the time to do it either. Again, I'm not worried that Charbonnet is going to all of a sudden start stealing touches on a regular basis, but he may get more involved. Walker, still a guy you're going to start every week, but it's Barkley. You got to prefer Barkley. Now, what about Sabason? This is, I'm guessing, a Lenny related question. What do you think about Cook now? Are we worried? And we did talk about this a little bit yesterday because we already knew the Leonard Fournette news. So worried about James Cook with Uncle Lenny.
I think you got to be at least a little worried because unlike Zeke when he signed with the Patriots, where it's like, okay, yeah, he's going to vulture touchdowns, but that's all he's going to do. Leonard Fournette is probably going to vulture touchdowns, which not really a big part of James Cook's game anyways, but he's also an adequate pass catcher. And this isn't an offense that features the running backs heavily in the passing game anyways. We've already seen that with James Cook. Like, he's not catching a bunch of passes anyways. So now if he catches even less passes, because sometimes they're going to Leonard Fournette instead of him, that certainly hurts his upside. And now if they have a capable goal line guy that they trust, that hurts his upside. So, I mean, I wasn't super high on Cook. I mean, I was before the season and I was in the beginning of the season, but now I'm kind of at the point where it's like, okay, he's going to be who he is. He's going to be like a 15-touch running back who some games he'll break off a long run, score a touchdown, and some games he won't. I kind of still feel like that, but now it's like, yeah, the game, I don't know. I kind of still feel like that. He's just going to remain that guy now, rest of the season.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette's not making me change my position of what I thought Cook was going to be this year. It's basically, like you said, he's what he is. I think we've got to accept that Cook is going to be a guy who's not going to score too many touchdowns, not going to catch as many passes as we'd like. If anything, Fournette, all he does for me is just make me think, okay, Latavius Murray is not worth even rostering anymore. That's the main thing. Okay, Josh Rust, what is up? Needs a flex in half PPR. Got DK, Higgins, Amari, Zay Flowers. It's a 2-flex league already set at running back.
It's close between Higgins and Amari for me. I'm done doubting Amari Cooper. I don't care who he's playing. I don't care who he's playing. Yeah, he's going to have down games, but I mean, so does everybody. So does everybody not named like Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill. I mean, literally, is there any other? Like, that's it, right? They're the only two guys that don't have down games pretty much. So Higgins also in a really good spot, but I think I just trust Amari Cooper a little bit more, which is crazy to say. I'm going Amari Cooper, but it's very close between him and Higgins. Very close.
Now, I will say this for what it's worth. Again, this was from last I saw. Deshaun Watson, we're going to assume he won't play, but he hasn't been ruled out yet. It's possible. But I saw something about them being non-committal towards PJ Walker. Like maybe they'll try Dorian Thompson-Robinson again. I don't know why. But if that's the case, that would maybe worry me off Amari Cooper a little bit. If it's PJ Walker, then it's fine, right? For Cooper, it's fine. And they're going to play the Cardinals this week. That's great. So probably it's between Cooper or Higgins. I might go Cooper. Because of matchup. All right. Got some member questions here. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? James Cook, Osborne, or Dameon Pierce?
I mean, cannot start Dameon Pierce. Can't start Osborne with a rookie QB. I guess you just got to go James Cook by default.
Yeah.
James Cook by default here.
Yeah, I think you got to go Cook because it can't be the other two, basically. Pierce is losing touches, and whatever touches he does get, he's just not doing anything. He's averaging 3 yards a carry. All right, what about Sir Boomer? Good evening. Man, super close. Only 51 more points, he would have had the W. Well, if it makes you feel better, no, I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing to make you feel better.
Yeah, I don't know.
To stop making dumb trades. Well, I mean, depends what the trade is. Here we go. Considering offering Sutton, Hubbard, and Pierce for White, Najee, and KJ Osborne.
This is like one man's trash is another man's treasure. Like, what is this trade right here? What is this?
Are we trading for Najee Harris and KJ Osborne right now? Is
right?
This what we're doing? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm okay trading like Sutton for Rachaad White if you need another running back.
Yeah.
But I'm not trading for Najee Harris or KJ Osborne. I'm totally okay getting rid of Pierce. Like, fine. If somebody wants Dameon Pierce, he's yours. But I'm not trading for Najee Harris and KJ Osborne. So maybe try like Sutton straight up for Rachaad White and see if that works.
Yeah, that would be fine. But let's stop you from doing 2/3 of that trade.
Yeah.
All right. And then there is Julio. Happy Halloween. All right. Needs 2 RBs. Pollard, Walker, Stevenson. It's got to be the first 2.
Yep. Still got to be Pollard over Stevenson and then Walker. Yeah.
Hill, Puka, Addison. Need 2. I mean, obviously Hill.
I'm still going Puka.
Yeah. We don't know what we're going to get from Jaron Hall at quarterback. Of course, I said that last week with Will Levis. Yeah, that turned out. But
yeah.
Still. Not the same thing. Not the same guy.
And it might be Brett ripping it for Puka. Who knows? And then I guess, I mean, I'm probably. Wait, you got waiver options of DeAndre Hopkins, Deontay Johnson, Josh Downs?
Apparently.
Because I would probably play Deontay Johnson over Puka and Addison this week. I don't know if I would play D-Hop or Downs over Puka myself. So if you have somebody on your bench that you can drop for Deontay Johnson, I'd play him over Addison this week.
Yeah. I mean, Pickett's playing. That's good. You get the Titans defense. It's very good. So, yeah, try to pick up Deontay and flex him out. All right. Well, apparently T. Higgins still on waivers somewhere. Telepathy.
Wow.
Should I pick up T. Higgins? Sure.
No, but George Pickens, is there nobody else you can drop? You don't have somebody else? I mean, look, if T. Higgins is on your waiver wire, maybe dropping George Pickens isn't a big deal. But I would hope there was somebody else you could drop.
Yeah, I would think so. Look, if you have a backup quarterback that you don't need because you have a good quarterback, if you have a backup tight end, yeah, try not to drop Higgins, but definitely pick up T. Higgins. All right, Isaac Medina traded Gabe Davis and Jeff Wilson for Achane. That's fine.
Yeah, totally fine. I'm assuming you don't need Achane right away. You're good. You've got a good record. Yeah, totally fine. Probably better than fine. Probably great for you in the end.
And then the Kraken. Which tight end do you like? McBride. There's Taysom Hill. I don't think it's any of those last 3. It's either are you on Taysom or you're not.
Man. I mean, how do we say no to Taysom at this point?
Well, yesterday somebody had the same question. And I think we just said, well, just go with McBride. He's actual tight end. We know he'll get targeted.
Yeah, the reason why I would say McBride is if this is going to be your every week tight end. Like if you're just streaming this week, if you just need one guy this week, I'm fine with Hill.
Yeah.
But if this is going to be like, if you're like, hey, I've been rolling out, I've been trying to stream tight end and it's been a disaster, then yeah, I would prefer McBride because we know he's going to be the tight end for the Cardinals. And chances are we're going to see Kyler Murray in week 10. So, that should be good for McBride long term. Taysom Hill, I mean, he can get phased out of this offense in an instant. So if it's your long-term tight end, I'm going McBride. If it's the streaming option this week, gamble on Hill, I guess. Go for it. I mean,
the answer to Taysom Hill is always going to be the same. Who knows? Who knows? You want to take a chance, go for it. You can't say no to him anymore.
Nope.
A lot of people apparently already made trades. There's a lot of past tense here. So Brunel Jacobs already traded Olave and Akers for Devo.
I probably slightly prefer Olave and Akers. I still believe in Olave. I mean, again, he doesn't drop that touchdown pass. We're talking about Olave totally differently today. You're probably not if he catches that touchdown pass, you're probably not making this trade, to be honest. I mean, that's how razor thin like our perceptions of these players can be, right? If he catches that ball and goes whatever it is, 40 yards for a touchdown, which he was going to, he gives you like a 20-plus point day, and suddenly you're like, nah, I'm not trading Olave. You're crazy. So, but it's okay. I mean, Devo should be solid, and I don't know. I do worry that we start to see more and more Akers. So I think I would have preferred just keep Olave and Akers personally.
Yeah, I still give the slight edge to Olave over Devo right now. So it's not a bad trade. I don't think you're going to kick yourself for doing it, but we'll see what Devo does. And then Sheik wondering about Josh Jacobs. He actually looked decent on Monday night. Sell high or keep? You got James Conner and DeAndre Swift.
I mean, he looked decent, but it wasn't like he had a huge game. I don't know if people are full on Jacobs is back after that game, right? I mean, he scored a touchdown, but he still didn't have a huge yardage game. What do you have, 70, 80 total yards, I think, 2 catches. Is that right? So I don't know if you'd be selling high on Josh Jacobs quite yet.
Well, the thing is, Connor's still not back, and
yeah, that's true.
Assuming you're still needing Jacobs for the next week or two, so no, I would hold for now. I don't really think it's the best time to sell. Mike B says people are getting in my head. All right. If I can trade Jordan Addison something for Devontae Adams. Okay, so let's talk Devontae Adams. Are you worried enough? Is he a buy low or is he a buy no?
Well, yeah, this is tough for me because the reasons why I wasn't huge on Devontae Adams this year and thought he was being overdrafted was for what we saw last night. Jimmy G, unlike Derek Carr, cannot throw the deep ball. And I was yeah, he'll still get his targets and he'll still get his touches, but he's going to lose out on those huge catches he had last year with Derek Carr. I mean, he had some monster catches.
Yeah,
we saw last night. He should have had a massive game. In 2 catches, he should have had 150 yards in 2. He should have had a D-Hop game. Should have had a D-Hop game, honestly. But he's got Jimmy G, not Will Levis, apparently. So, but I still think if it's Jordan Addison and a bench player, I'm still going to take my chances on Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I'm going to take Devontae Adams because he's going to get the volume. I think there are better days coming. Again, don't want to overreact to one really bad, right? Granted, really bad game by Jimmy G, but I think he'll still be okay. And I mean, how great can you feel about Addison with Josh Dobbs? It's not like he's going to be Devontae Adams level. So
right.
I do it. Yes, I have to do it. And don't listen to what the people say.
Yeah.
Boomer, though, wants to know this. Would you trade away Devontae Adams to get Ayuk?
Oh, man.
That is
it's not like Ayuk's been lighting it up recently. I know he had a nice game. 5 catches, 109 yards. Deebo is coming back, though. Purdy, the last 3 games, has looked terrible. I'm sure he'll turn it around, and I'm sure Ayuk will be fine. But I think I still have to prefer Adams over Ayuk. I think I still do.
Yeah, we'll talk you off of this one, Boomer. It's not a bad deal, but I would still hold Adams too. Now this seems like a no-brainer. Cole Van Geest, DJ Moore, and Gus Edwards for Eckler.
Yeah, give me Eckler. Give me Eckler. I don't understand why are people trading Eckler after this week. They're like, finally a good game. I can get rid of this bum.
Yeah, I don't understand a lot of these why people do them. I mean, I don't know. Because Gus is the new Eckler with those 3 touchdowns.
True. Gus had
RJ Colo, 8-team league is 5-3. Allen, Eckler, Hall, CD, Chase, Kelsey, Mixon, Benj, Olave, Gibbs, Jason, Downsdale, Spears. Was offered Tyreek and Etienne.
Yes. Do I even need to see the rest of it?
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
You're talking about potentially the best player in fantasy, Tyreek Hill, and a top 5 running back, if not top 3 running back. Like, I like Breece Hall. I like CeeDee Lamb. I don't like Joe Mixon, but they're not even close to the level of these guys. Yeah, take Tyreek and Etienne, please. Please.
Someone wants Mixon, you hand him over, and you don't worry about it because your bench is totally fine. Yeah, CD, of course, had a huge game, but you still have to say Tyreek over CD. Yes. And you definitely want to go Etienne over Hall. So, yep, do it. Tristan Morgan is an HN owner. So, would you trade Connor for Mostert?
No.
Is this just going to give you more aggravation of which Dolphins running back to start, or you have to start both?
Yeah, exactly. Nah, give me Connor. He should be back week 10. And also Kyler Murray should be back week 10. So, and like no one, you don't have to worry about like when he comes back, like, well, Amari Demercado has been so good. Are we sure Connor's still going to be the guy? Like, now you don't have to worry about that. Like, Connor's still going to be the guy. So, I'm taking Connor.
Yeah, I think just prefer Connor anyways, but again, getting Mostert, I would just make things a little more annoying for you if you have both of these guys. But yeah. What is up, Joe? Joe Castles. All right, always with the tough questions. Khalil Shakir or Demario Douglas? Who do you like?
I got to go with Douglas. It's a good matchup against Commanders. They give up a ton of points to wide receivers. I mean, Hunter Henry, Juju, Mike Gesicki, like who else is there to throw here to here? So I got to go Douglas.
Yeah, I mean, he might actually be the number 1 guy in this offense just because he has to be. It's not the offense you want a piece of. You think Pat's receiver, Bill's receiver. Number 1 target on his team. Number 4, maybe 5 target on his team. I mentioned this when I talked about Shakir. Dalton Kincaid is still there getting involved. So, yeah, I think it's Douglas. Juice 420, Dell or Addison at the flex?
I still got to go Addison. I mean, maybe Dell outscores him, or maybe Dell does what he did last week, which is nothing. So, I'm still going to go Addison.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a good Tank Dell week last week, and it wasn't. I think they get better. I think he gets right. But again, this is the same thing I'm talking about here. Number 1 receiver on his team. Number 2, maybe 3 on any given week target on his team. Yeah, I'm going to go Addison. Python with a friendly reminder. What's up, Python? Hit those likes, definitely. All right, so let's go. CR was the very first comment after Dan's. Let's go to CR because he's all the way from Germany watching.
What's up? Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. All right. So 3 receivers in the flex. Started 4-0, but has been in a skid. All right. With mid wide receivers. Got Cooper, Watson, Dobbs, Sutton, Hollywood, and Pierce for flex. Should I spend the number 1 priority on McBride and Njoku, I guess Taysom Hill or Demario Douglas? Are any of those guys worth the number 1? I don't think so.
I'm not spending the number 1 on those guys. I mean, if you don't get McBride or Taysom Hill, Njoku should be fine as a streaming option. But my guess is you can get at least one of those guys. I mean,
he's saying 4 other teams need a tight end this week. I guess everyone's tight ends are on bye and Kelsey's on bye, but that's in week 10. You don't need to stash for now for week 10.
Yeah, and here's what's going to happen is all these teams that need a tight end this week are going to pick up that tight end that they need. Okay, fine. The next week, they're going to need to drop somebody, and they're not going to need those tight ends anymore, and those tight ends are going to go back on the waiver wire, right? Like if McBride has not a great game or Taysom Hill finally doesn't have a great game, these guys are going to be right back on the waiver wire, and it's not till week 10. So, yeah, I wouldn't use your number one on these guys.
No.
As far as the flex goes, I'm going Cooper. Unless they really do bench PJ Walker and go back to Dorian Thompson, then I guess I would go Sutton. They do that.
Yeah, go Cooper. We're just done with Packers offensive players. Just for now, just done with Packers. So go Cooper. All right, and then the Terminator had Cousins. He's been terminated. So go for Dak. Yeah, you can go for Dak.
Yeah, Dak definitely. Anywhere where Dak is on waiver wire and you need a QB, he's got to be the priority.
And then should you start Zach Moss and Jacobs over Aaron Jones and Brian Robinson?
Yes, I would. Not feeling those guys this week.
All right, and then Jacob Ibarra traded JJ for Mostert and Gabe.
I think that's still a win. I mean, Mostert, it looks like he's starting to, fade. Achan's coming back. Gabe Davis, sure. He'll do what he does. He'll give you 3 points, 1 point, 20 points, 3 points, 5 points, 18 points. I mean, that's just what you get with Gabe, right? So, yeah, I think this is a good gamble on Jefferson for sure.
Yeah, it's fine. I'd prefer a little higher end of a wide receiver. I'm saying I like Gabe. I think he's going to be legit, but I guess the way it is now, we're going to have to lower, what JJ's value is.
But he said traded for JJ.
Oh, so traded for JJ for Mostert.
Got JJ.
See, I thought it was traded JJ for Mostert games. Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, it's fine. Matthew Miller with another one. JT and DK for Keenan and Ramondre. So there's a slight twist on the previous one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it comes down to what you really need. I think in a vacuum, I probably prefer the Keenan and Ramondre side. But if you need running back, then I think the JT and DK side is fine. I'm just not very big on DK, and I don't see it getting better for DK Metcalf. I mean, like, what's the path for it getting better for DK Metcalf? We're just going to see more and more of JSN as the season goes on, not less and less. And I don't know, is JT ever going to just pull away from Zach Moss? Like, it looked like, okay, finally, it's the JT show. And then the second half, it was the Zach Moss show. Like, what the heck happened? So, yeah. But if you need running back, JT should be fine here. So, I think the JT and DK side is okay if you're, like, desperate for running back. But I think if it was me, I prefer the Keenan or Ramondre side just in a vacuum.
Yeah, in a vacuum, I look at this and I would say I feel like the JT DK side should be better. But like you said, with DK, who knows? The real walker is Ramondre, right? Is he just going to be what he is? If so, like whatever. I'm going to prefer the other side. I wonder if with all the receivers hurt there in New England, are they going to just have to pound the ball, on the ground more, give Ramondre more touches, give him more, targets. So he could be more valuable. There was a rumor, take that for what it's worth, that teams wanted Zeke. Apparently nobody wanted him enough to trade for him. But
yeah. I wonder who put that rumor out there.
Yeah, exactly. Bill Belichick, burner.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty close either way. Like you said, I'll say it comes down to need. Cat Mullen, Howell or CJ Stroud?
I think I got to go Howell. I mean, look, CJ Stroud is probably safer. If you're like, I don't want to risk like a Howell, horrific fantasy performance, Stroud will get you points, but Howell has just way more upside right now. Stroud, they haven't been throwing it as much, not putting up the big numbers. I'm going Howell.
They're going to keep passing. He's getting the volume now that Stroud was getting. Yeah, I think in the Patriots this week, Patriots are kind of hurt on defense. Nothing to be scared of. Give me Hal. Eric Castellanos is 7-1, but lost Kirk Cousins. And AR and Chubb too. Not many options left. Would you go with Levis or Dobbs? Ooh.
I mean, I'm probably well, you can't play Dobbs this week.
Right.
They just traded for him. He's not gonna come in and start this week. They've already announced he's not the starter. It's Jalen Hall. So just go with Levis. I mean, it's the guy you're gonna have to play this week anyways. See what he does. Maybe he lights it up again. If he doesn't, you can always drop him for Dobbs next week. And no, I don't. I mean, there's no point trading for Fields. He's not playing this week. Murray's not playing this week. I'm not trading for Derek Carr. No way. So I would just pick up Levis. If he looks great, awesome. You can keep rolling with him. If he crashes back down to earth, okay, you can pick up Dobbs or somebody else off waivers next week.
Yeah, nobody's going to be out there like, falling over themselves to pick up Dobbs, especially if he doesn't play this week. So pick up Levis. Again, can't feel great about him on the road in Pittsburgh on Thursday night, but you never know. Didn't feel great about him last week because we didn't know what he was going to do. So go for Levis, and then Dobbs, at least you'll know what Dobbs gets you. So, yeah, go Levis right now. Rusty Shackelford is back. 12-team, half PPR with a flex 4-4. Got Allen, Pittman, Higgins, Bijan, Eckler, Ferguson. Needs a flex. Christian Watson, Josh Downs, Deontay, Ford, Pierce, Spears, Henderson.
It's Deontay for me. I like Deontay a lot this week. It's another great matchup. I saw something, Jacob Gibbs, I'm sure you follow him too. Kind of what I feared about with Pickens when Deontay was back. He went back to just running like go routes again. He didn't get the middle of the field routes last week. So Deontay fully healthy. I think he's going to get peppered with targets in a great matchup. I really like Deontay this week. I'm going Deontay.
Yeah, definitely Deontay. He stands out here. And then asking any moves, who to package.
Is now a time to sell high on Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah. Look, you got Eckler and Bijan. Gibbs isn't starting for you anyways. Ford is fine as a third running back. Yeah, sell high on Gibbs. I think maybe sell Henderson now while he's getting touches.
Yeah, if you can. Like, would you trade Gibbs for Devontae Adams?
Absolutely. I definitely would. Yeah, because Pittman and Higgins, looking at it, you don't really have a clear number one receiver here, huh? Yeah, I think I'm doing that. I'm selling Gibbs. You package him with somebody. Try to get Devontae Adams or any high-end receiver you can buy low. Maybe the JJ owner. Who knows? 95, newly minted member. Definitely enjoying Halloween, talking football. Are you worried about Olave and Adams? Well, we'll kind of talk about Adams. We talked a little bit about Olave lately, but you want to recap here.
Again, Olave catches that touchdown. We're not even talking about Olave right now. And it wasn't like a tough catch. It was like a catch Olave makes 99 times out of 100. That just happened to be the one out of the 100 that he didn't make the catch. I'm still okay with Adams. You're just going to have to accept that, again, Adams should have had a huge game last night. He should have had a huge game, but that's just what you give it Jimmy G. The 49ers would have another Super Bowl right now if Jimmy G could throw the deep ball. So, yeah, and Patrick Mahomes would have one less, by the way. But, yeah. Not really worried about them yet. I guess I'm just, I don't know what the word is.
Slightly concerned?
Yeah, slightly concerned. There we go.
Slightly concerned. Panic meter 1 to 10. Olave.
6.
That's higher than I expected. I'm more like a 4 for Olave. Adams 1 to 10.
Probably more like a 4. Probably more like a 4.
Yeah, I'm like a 3 with Adams. But all right, Royland trading away Brees to get Bijan in Dynasty to lateral. So, I mean, yeah, these guys are kind of 1 and 2. Do you have any shift here? Is Bijan still the one?
Yeah, I would still prefer Bijan. He's younger. But yeah, it's very close between like what is this like one RB1, RB2?
Yeah, this basically, I think preseason I had Bijan 1, Brees 2. I don't think it's changed really. So you end up with both, great. But I would just say don't trade away young receivers to get young running backs. You'd prefer the receivers still, but sure, it's fine. Rahul, this team is suddenly trash. Doesn't look like trash. You got Tua, Hill, Cup, Amon-Ra, Thielen, Devontae. What?
Yeah, how is this team trash?
Like you have really good players. I mean, I get Cup has been disappointing last couple of weeks, but yeah, you got Monty coming back.
It's okay because you got Hill and Amon-Ra and Thielen and Devontae.
Drops Javonte. I don't know. Javonte's starting to look good.
Yeah. Yeah, this team looks great to me. I mean, I'm guessing what happened in the last 2 weeks is you start a Cup, of course, and you probably benched. I mean, since you have Hill, Cup, and Amon-Ra, you probably benched. Thielen was on bye. Yeah, Cup is. I'm guessing Cup has just killed you the last 2 games. I'm guessing that's what just has happened.
But Amon-Ra just had a big game. Thielen was still good. Tua and Hill have been great. Devontae came up with a big game. So, I mean, you probably should have won this past week. I don't know.
The thing I would ask I would say, okay, you've lost 2 in a row, but are you still scoring a lot of points? Like when you look at yourself in relation to the rest of your league, are you still one of the higher scoring teams, or has your team not really been scoring? But I'd have to think with this lineup, you're still scoring a lot of points.
Yeah, I think your team looks pretty good. That's all I gotta say. I would say if you have Deontay, that's Deontay Foreman. I might drop him to get Javonte back.
Yeah, definitely get Javonte back, though. Definitely get Javonte back.
All right, Telepathy has another comment here. Has Foreman, DK, Gibbs, and Pickens. Thielen, Adams, and Allen at receiver. Only Kamara, Gibson, Mixon, Foreman at running back. Figured I would get Chuba for Foreman. Yeah, I think you would do that too, right?
Yeah, give me Chuba. Yes, definitely.
Trigger trait. Offered, I guess, Deontay for Drake London. Who you like the rest of the season?
Very close here. Very close. I mean,
maybe you just feel a little more secure with Deontay because
probably
just get Arthur Smith as a coach, and we know who the quarterback is if he's healthy.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, Deontay probably gives you more of the warm, fuzzy, safer feeling. So, yeah, probably go Deontay. Very close here.
Yeah, it is close. The only thing with Deontay is, of course, there's some risk for re-injury relative to Drake London, but I'd rather have Deontay, so I think that's fine. And then who do I start at wide receiver 2 in flex? Deontay, D-Hop, and Kenneth Walker. Going with D-Hop.
I'm going Deontay and Kenneth Walker. I'm not putting D-Hop in just because what he did last week. Don't expect that again. I'm going Deontay and Walker.
Feel good enough about Walker, not worried about him after last week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a little nervous, but we saw this once before, and then the next week he got 90% of the touches, and it was Charbonnet barely involved. So,
yeah.
If Sharps is involved quite a bit again this week, then I'm definitely nervous. Then I'm definitely getting worried.
I might consider going. I mean, I want Deontay in there. I might go D-Hop if it's full PPR at the flex. I might do that, but risky either way. Ali, what is up? Lost again. Oh, man. Not good. Not good. Had Stroud, Waller, London, Flowers. Are we giving up on Flowers? Is the question. Did not come through.
No. Not giving up on Flowers. Everybody has bad games. Not giving up on Flowers.
I think I'm giving up on him having a big, huge ceiling any given week, even when he should. He's not having any big games. I think he's still fine. I'm dropping him more to like the low end wide receiver 3 range. I just know that he's going to be a floor play from going forward. And then Dak or Stroud.
Definitely Dak.
Definitely Dak. Stroud didn't help you last week. Waller going out at the very beginning. I mean, that's just bad luck. So, well, if Waller does play, do you play him or do you go with, here are your favorite choices again? McBride or Hill? We're just going Taysom, ride or die.
Yeah, if it's just this week, go Taysom. Why not?
You need your 2-6. You need some upside. Go Taysom.
Yep.
I wouldn't start Waller anyways. I'm done with that guy. Spearsy, happy Halloween.
What's up? Happy Halloween.
All right. We don't have enough McBride or Hill questions, so here's another one, and let's throw Ferguson in the mix. And also has Waller. So let's just say it again. I don't want to start Waller even if he plays. Does Ferguson beat these guys out?
No, I still would go. I'd probably still go Hill this week, I guess. Hill or McBride. I mean, but I can't be as excited about McBride with Clayton Tune, but I mean, like Hill can get you points throwing the ball. He can get you points catching the ball. He can get you points running the ball. He can get you points scoring touchdowns. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So, like he could get you nothing, but he probably has the most upside here. I'll go with Hill.
Until he shows that he's not going to be involved, which will happen as soon as you start him, you just go Hill. Just go Hill. Again, I cannot guarantee anything when it comes to Taysom Hill, but I think it's worth it at this point. Just go Hill. All right, and we got George Plemanterus. Welcome back, and thank you very much. We appreciate it, George. All right, so he traded Swift and Laporta for Bijan and Flowers. That a win? He already had Goddard.
Yeah, I think it's a win. I still prefer Bijan over Swift. Laporta, I mean, you got Goddard, so might as well take a gamble on Flowers. Yeah, I think it's a win.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for your team. So it's good. Makes sense. In a QB jam, because of Fields and Lawrence being on bye, have a bench spot open. Would you drop one of those guys for a streamer like Carr, Howell, or Minshew and grab McBride or Ferguson, or just grab a QB and worry about tight end later? Well,
yeah, you got Goddard. I'm not picking up
Goddard.
a tight end. I think you could drop Lawrence. Like, are people really going to be like, oh, Trevor Lawrence next week? I can't wait to go pick him up. He's been so amazing this year. Like, he's been fine, but has he even been that much? Has he even been better than Howell? I don't think so.
I'm sure he had total fantasy points. I bet you Howell's
no way, right? There's no way. So I would just drop Minshew. Because at least Fields, when he comes back, has some upside.
Drop Lawrence, pick up Howell.
Yeah, pick up Howell. So I'm looking right now. Oops. Oh, geez. I just clicked on it. Okay, good. So right now, Trevor Lawrence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Sam Howell's a QB 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Trevor Lawrence QB 13, averaging 15 points per game. I mean, yeah, I don't think anybody's rushing out to, like, I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, Trevor Lawrence on the waiver wire. So I would just drop T-Law and pick up Howell. And you could probably pick T-Law back up next week, honestly.
And best case scenario is after this week, Fields does come back, and then you don't even have to worry about picking him up or anybody. So hopefully. All right. And then let's see here. What about this? Mr. J School 30. Would you go Levis or Howell?
Gotta go Howell. I'm not ready to go in on Levis after one crazy game. We've seen Howell have many crazy games. In fact, I just said he's a QB 8. He's averaging, over 17 points per game this year. So Yeah, just give me Howell.
I think you got to go Howell. Again, Levis, not in the best spot. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I would just go with the more known commodity. All right, Patrick's got a question. 10-man full PPR, 4-4. Any moves to make here? Got Burrow and Kyler stashed. Eckler, Monty, James Cook, Connor, Sharps, Puka, DK Ridley, Olave, London, Watson, McBride, Thomas. No, I guess technically not with a first, top tier wide receiver because Puka really doesn't count anymore. But do you shake anything up here? It's a 10-man league.
I might try to package like Puka. But see, here's the thing. I mean, you got Eckler. That's great. Monty, I mean, not going to have him this week. Not back till hopefully next week. Then you got Cook. Connor maybe coming back next week. So you don't really want to like trade. Because I was thinking like if you package Puka and say like Monty or Puka and Connor or something like that to get a wide receiver 1. Well, what happens if like you trade Puka and Monty and Connor doesn't come back in week 10? I mean, I guess James Cook is okay as your RB2. Don't love it in a 10-teamer. Unless you could do like Puka and I mean, that's the other thing. Like Puka and DK, Puka and DK. DK has name value, but yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I think this team does need a consistent, clear number 1 receiver. Getting it is a different, task though, because you don't have a number 1 receiver to trade away, and you don't want to trade away. You can't trade away Eckler because you need him. I think you can get by with the running backs you have. Monty is coming back after next week. Connor should be coming back soon. You can even get by with Cook. It's fine. So it's just your wide receivers are so inconsistent. That's the thing. Ridley up and down, up and down. Olave has been some up, some down, some mid. London, it's like all or nothing. So yeah, I agree. I think the guy to trade away would be Puka or DK for name value. I don't know if you have anybody else you can really package though. Just get rid of Watson just to get rid of Watson.
Yeah. Yeah, but who's taking Watson right now? That's the thing.
You would never, well, you never know. You'd be surprised. Some people. Beast Mode Kane is tied for first, wants to trade Gibbs, Ayuk, Komet for Laporta. You don't mean all 3 of those guys for Laporta, do you?
I mean, if you're getting Gibbs, Ayuk, and Komet for Laporta, take it. If you're giving Gibbs, Ayuk, and Komet for Laporta, do not do this, please. Too much.
No. Like if you would hypothetically be trading all 3 of those guys, it should be for Kelsey. No other tight end would be worth that. Like even just Ayuk for Laporta, I'm like, I guess. Yeah, no. If you have Gibbs, sell high. That's not selling high.
Yeah.
All right, then what about Cameron Mathis? Who to start? 2 flex. Got Henry Chuba and Henderson. Got Garrett Wilson, London Smith, Higgins, Rice, Palmer Downs, Hawk McBride. Okay, so 2 flex out of just this group? Or is this like your whole squad? Because I'm like, if we're starting Henry and Henderson, I don't know that I'm flexing Chuba.
Well, I'm starting. Yeah, I'm not really sure the question here. Like, is it 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers in a flex? Because I can't imagine all these players are your flex choices.
I guess let's assume 2 receivers in a flex. And it says two flex. I guess let's pick 4 receivers. I'll put them in order.
4 receivers in order?
Well, okay. Well, Henry's got to be one of the running backs, right? Would you go Henderson or Chuba at RB2?
I'm going Chuba at RB2. He's a great matchup this week. He's getting all the touches. I'm going Henry and Chuba at running back. If we're doing 2 wide receivers, I'm going Wilson and probably Smith.
And then 2 flex.
London and Higgins. If London doesn't play, I'll go Rice and Higgins.
Yeah, I would go Higgins, Smith, Wilson. Probably London. And if London, because he had a groin issue, they left last week. If he doesn't play, it might go Downs. And then I think you still got to start Hawk at tight end, right? Even with the rookie.
Yeah, I'm still starting Hawk. I mean, look, if it's terrible this week, then okay. Like hold McBride just in case. If it's like a disaster this week, I mean, look. But here's the thing: Zach Ertz was doing great with Josh Dobbs. McBride was great last week with Josh Dobbs. So if it's Josh Dobbs, that should be fine for Hawkinson. So yeah, just roll Hawkinson. Although I know it's not Dobbs this week, but I'm saying even if it's like a train wreck this week, when Dobbs plays probably next week, you can feel good about Hawkinson.
Yeah. Still keep Hawk in there. All right, George Martinez wants to know Levis or Mayfield?
Mayfield's safer, which is crazy to say. That Mayfield and safe in the same sentence is always crazy to say, but Levis has the upside apparently, so I might just gamble on Levis, but just understand Levis could absolutely. I mean, look, it wouldn't be the first time we saw a rookie go out there look fantastic in his first game, and then go out the very next game and look horrendous. And by horrendous, I mean like 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, and get you negative points. So,
I mean, yeah, it is. It's possible. I'm not expecting him to implode to that level. I still rather take a shot on him than Mayfield. I would.
Yeah, Mayfield just what's the ceiling? What's the upside for Mayfield? So just gamble on Levis, I guess.
Exactly. Flirtsy. Got a bunch of wide receiver 2s. Been trying to get a wide receiver 1, but no luck. You're 6-2. I mean, I know it's hard to pry away a guy like that from another team. You got to see what is it that they need. How can you help them, but also help yourself?
Exactly. So this is where I like the 2-for-1. So, I mean, like put yourself in the shoes of the other team, right? So let's say they have Keenan Allen. Let's say you said they have losing record. So let's say they're 3-5. So they're not like completely done, right? They're not out of it. They still have a fighting chance. Well, if you say, hey, I'll give you Chris Olave, and let's say DK Metcalf for Keenan Allen, they're going to be thinking, how does that help my team?
Right.
But if you say, I'll give you Chris Olave and maybe, I don't know, who's like a Rashad White, because they were really struggling at running back. That's why they're losing. They're losing because their running backs are terrible. They need a running back. You're deep at running back. You're 6-2. Maybe Rashad White's like your RB4. So if you can say, hey, I'll give you Olave and Rashad White, give me Keenan Allen, that they might have to say yes to that because they're like, I need to win and I need running backs, and Rashad White's been pretty good. So this is why I'm such a fan of the 2-for-1, because you can go to the team, you can look at what they need, and it could be anything, right? Maybe they need a quarterback. Maybe they need a tight end. Maybe you have 2 good tight ends. Maybe you stash Kyler Murray and they need a quarterback and they are excited about Kyler Murray being back next week. There's whatever it is, right? But you can go and look at what they actually need and then say, hey, look, you can replace Keenan Allen with Olave, which is okay, and you get the upgraded running back that you really need, or whatever it might be.
Yep. Keep trying. Don't give up. But look, view rest of the season, your current receivers, we've already talked quite a bit about almost all these players. DK, got to be a little worried. He's a guy I think you could try to trade right now. I mean, he's still startable, though. Olave, we think will get better. Deontay should be kind of a solid set and forget at the wide receiver 3 level. London. London. And then I like Nico as a buy low right now. I wouldn't try to trade away Nico.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Most people don't. So
Pedro Nevarez, 10 non-PPR. Burrow, Moss, White, Addison, Terry, Hawk, Garrett Wilson. On the bench is Wilson, Madison, Hubbard, Downs, Hunt, Brown, and JJ. Okay, I think that was just like a typo there. Okay, so what can we do with this team? Don't really have much trade value on the bench.
No. And I mean, this is a team where I would really like to get an RB1 or a wide receiver 1, though, because it's looks
This
like
is
a 2 running back.
non-PPR.
Yeah, so I would really like a wide receiver 1. And this is a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. So really depth not super important here. Look, Moss has had a lot of really nice games. He's scoring touchdowns. If I could package Moss and say Garrett Wilson or even Terry or even Addison right now, if I could package Moss and Addison right now and get a really good running back like a DeAndre Swift, somebody who I think is really good but still a bit undervalued, like a Bijan Robinson, maybe even like a Saquon Barkley who hasn't had big games, right? He's getting the usage, but it's not like he's having monster games, but that's because the offense has been completely handcuffed since he's been back. You know, if I can package those guys and get a running back like that, I would do it. Because like it's standard scoring. If you're starting, let's just say you got Saquon. If you're starting Saquon, Rashad White, Terry McLaurin, Garrett Wilson, and then you're flexing Hubbard or even Kareem Hunt, he's scoring touchdowns. That's totally fine. Totally fine as standard.
Yeah, I think this team, it's non-PPR. I think you need to upgrade the running back situation there. I've been getting by with guys like Moss and White on one team, but it's PPR. That's different because White's catching passes. That's his main appeal, and Moss has been too. I think White's the guy who is not nearly as valuable here. I would try to trade him maybe, package him with anybody, any of those receivers. Try to go out and get a real, RB1. J Army 916, 6 and true. All right, trade away Gibbs and Waddle for JJ and Flowers.
I don't think so because, before the Kirk Cousins injury, I might have considered this. But now I don't even know if JJ is going to be significantly better than Waddle. I mean, I would still put JJ ahead of Waddle for sure, at least for now. I mean, we'll see. But I don't think the gap, like the JJ to Waddle gap with Cousins is pretty big. The JJ to Waddle gap with Dobbs may not be so big.
Right.
Look, maybe when Monty comes back, I still think when Monty comes back, he's the guy. I think Gibbs is going to take a big hit. I think everybody's really excited for Gibbs right now. But when they come out of the bye, if Monty's healthy, look, we may see more Gibbs than we saw earlier in the year because he did gain some of Dan Campbell's trust. But it's not like Monty lost his trust ever. So I'm okay trading Gibbs now. But again, Flowers, I don't know if that's really doing it for me. I think I'm keeping Gibbs and Waddle here, actually.
Yeah, I think this is the time to trade away Gibbs, but I mean, it feels weird to say to get more than JJ, but again, this is a different situation here. So try to get a player that can help you right here, right now. And then Hope hits 2 receivers in the flex, Addison, Puka, D-Hop, Rice, Ford. Is Puka contingent on Stafford's health?
I don't know if I can bench Puka for these guys, though.
Yeah, Addison, super risky this week.
Even D-Hop. I know everybody's going nuts for D-Hop right now, but I mean, let's be real. He had 3 touchdowns on 4 catches, and they weren't like targeted in the end zone catches. They were bombs, right? They were just straight bombs. I mean, the Steelers saw that. Like, look, obviously the Falcons were not ready for Will Levis to just chuck it. The Steelers saw that. They're going to be ready, right? They're going to be fine. Like, they're going to make him earn it. You got to think. They're going to make him earn it. I like Rice a lot. I still like Puka. And then, I mean, I probably do still start D-Hop over Addison. And I guess the problem is D-Hop plays on Thursday, so you probably have to play him. I would really like to play Jerome Ford, though, if he's fully healthy. If he practices fully all week, because they have a great matchup this week against the Cardinals, who've just been getting destroyed by running backs. So if Ford is fully healthy this week, practicing fully, I would like to get him in, but you can't wait. So I'd probably go Puka, D-Hop, and Rice.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Addison is a guy, huge risk here. I know we don't want to like overreact to Hopkins that you have to start him, but for the most part, I do still want to start him because I mean it's not like he's been doing nothing at all this year. He just hadn't been scoring touchdowns, and I still want to put D Hop in there. I think Puka, I would say if Stafford doesn't play, then I might bench Puka for Addison. But for now, I'll keep it Puka, D Hop, Rice. All right, one of these days we are going to get down to Bear Camp Cabin Rentals. What is up? 2 QB league can hold 3 quarterbacks on the roster, have Burrow, Lawrence, and Murray. All right, Lawrence is going to bye. Murray's out. So would you, okay, I guess 3 quarterbacks is the limit. Would you cut Murray for Howell because of this week's buys, or just, well, it says go with Burrow and 3. Okay, that is allowed. So I guess it's Superflex, not really 2 QB.
Yeah. First of all, I mean, I know you have no control over this, but in a 2 QB Superflex league, there shouldn't be a 3 QB limit. That makes no sense. But anyways, for this exact reason, right? Like, what happens if 2 of you, like I have a Superflex team where we have Dak and Burrow and they have the same bye week. So it's like, do I drop one of those guys because I can only hold 3 quarterbacks, or do I, you know what I mean? It's like, that doesn't make sense. But anyways, you can't do anything about that. So it is what it is.
I guess to prevent hoarding or competitive balance and whatever.
I know that would be like saying you can only have 4 running backs because it's not fair that you grab all the handcuffs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't agree with it. I just think that must be the thinking here.
But anyways, your wide receivers are Garrett Wilson, Jacoby Myers, and Nico Collins. I don't know. My worry is, though, if you drop Murray for Howell, Murray's probably getting picked up, but maybe not if you can only hold 3 QBs. I mean, if Howell is somehow still on the waiver wire in this league, maybe not. I'd probably go with Howell. I'd probably drop Murray and go with Howell.
I'm picking up Howell because again, you can only hold 3 anyways. I'm going to go Howell because he's been putting up numbers. He's going to continue, I think, to put up numbers. I've been really off of Kyler Murray all offseason just because now he may return, which they're like, oh, yeah, he's practicing, he's going to return, but it keeps getting pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. I'm not going to all of a sudden buy in fully into Kyler Murray. I'll just say go Howell. I think he could be just as productive as Murray anyways. And then let's see. Next super chat is 2 boys and their scary pops. Perfect night for your pops.
Yes.
Doesn't have to have a costume. He just, I guess, roams around. Devontae Adams and Lockett for Hollywood and Higgins.
Ooh. I certainly prefer Higgins to Lockett, but I prefer Adams to Hollywood. But I think I still have to prefer Adams to all these guys. And when it's a trade like this, where I feel like it's pretty close, I'm going to give the edge to the side that's getting the best player. And I think Adams is the best player in here. I'm not fully giving up on him. So I'm going to take the Adams and Lockett side simply because that's the side with who I feel is the best player.
Yeah, I said I'm still in on Adams. This feels pretty close. It's pretty fair, but I do think Adams is going to be the best player here. So would hold Adams and Lockett for now, assuming that's the side you have. All right, Boomer's got a couple of questions. Let's do this one. Javonte Williams for London. Although I guess he's saying no. London for Javonte. He would get Javonte. Would you trade London to get Javonte?
Man. I think it depends on what you need. If you're deep at wide receiver and you badly need running back, I think this is okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think Javonte is finally in the category where I feel he's startable, but he's not going to be an every week must start for me. I don't think at any point. So if you need running back help, then it's fine. What about Giovanni Casas? Swift, Gus, Moss, Chuba, who to start in flex? Receiver core needs help. Puka, Godwin, Collins, Judy. Any moves to make? Okay. Who are we starting at running back? Swift, I think, needs to be started.
Yeah, definitely Swift.
It's funny because you like Chuba this week. I like Moss this week.
Yeah.
Gus is, rolling.
Gus is the wild card. But I feel like Gus, Seahawks, right? Yeah, Seahawks. Seahawks been great against running backs this year, and they just bolstered their defensive line, made it even stronger. I think it was my team. I'm going Swift and Chuba, but it's very close. Gus, Moss, Chuba, all very close. Very close.
Yeah, I would go Swift and Moss, but again, both in good spots. Who would I start and who would I flex? Okay, receiver core, you got Puka, Godwin, Collins, Judy. I mean, yeah, you don't have a number one guy, Puka. There's a little bit of concern here. I don't know what moves to make. You really don't have that many players listed here.
Yeah, but look, if you could package Puka and Gus right now, or Godwin and Gus right now, and upgrade a wide receiver, go get like a Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Go get a Cooper Kupp if that's your thing. If you feel good enough about him, I would do that. I would definitely do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're not even starting Gus for sure. Start Gus coming off of that big game, sell high. That's the guy to trade. And you got Achane and Connor coming back, so you have the depth at running back. So there you go. Trade one of those running backs. And then Figums. Which rookie tight end you like, Kincaid or Laporta rest of the season? We had this exact same question last night.
Yeah, I still got to go Laporta. He's been good pretty much all year. We've only seen Kincaid be good for one game. I'm still going to trust in Laporta.
Yeah, the thing with Laporta is he's pretty much the number 2 target there. It's Sun God and then it's him. Kincaid is probably going to be number 3, right? Gabe is still involved. So slight edge to Laporta. For now. And then Paul Garza, would you trade Walker and Ridley for Monty and Thielen? I don't think so.
Trade Walker and Ridley for Monty and Thielen. Probably not, but I could see the Monty and Thielen side being better because, I mean, if Ridley doesn't come around and Kenneth Walker really is starting to lose touches to Charbonnet, you might prefer the Monty and Thielen side. But I think if it's me, I'm holding Walker and Ridley.
Yeah, I don't think the Gibbs game makes me worried about Monty. If anything, you should be worried that you didn't sell high on Gibbs this week if you do have Gibbs. Because Monty's going to come back and be the lead back, and everyone's going to say, "What? I can't believe it!" As if we didn't see this coming. Thielen is still going to be the number 1 guy there because they obviously didn't go out and trade for a receiver, and then it's just going to be what it is. But I don't feel also like he's going to continue to put that kind of volume. I think I would still rather have. Okay, maybe not that I like Ridley better than Thielen rest of the season, but I don't think I would give up the Walker Ridley side. So, what about Python? Would you trade Tua and Waddle for Hurts and Smith? Which stack? Already have AJB and Goddard, so we just go the whole Eagles offense, which is not a bad thing, but still.
No, I think I want Tua and Waddle.
It's a little too all in on one offense for my taste.
Yeah, a little too all in for one offense. And I still prefer Waddle to Smith. And I don't think Hurts to Tua is enough of or Tua to Hurts, even though, yeah, I mean, Hurts most weeks will probably be better because of his rushing and the tush push around the goal line or whatever it's called. But I don't think it's enough of a gap to make up for it. So I think I prefer Tua and Waddle.
Yeah, I think you're fine with your team. And if that's your roster, you're doing fine. You don't really need to trade anything. Spearsy just giving some Halloween
Hey, my
appreciation,
pleasure.
little treats there, and also Tom Evers. Yeah, that one turned out good. I mean, of course, didn't see the Cousins injury coming, but
True.
you had a good feeling about Dak. You did.
I mean, at home, coming out of the bye, I just felt like the Cowboys were gonna figure things out and get that offense going.
So then he's asking, would you start Dak or Carr?
Definitely Dak. I mean, okay, they're not at home. It's always nice when they're at home, but I mean, they're in SoFi, so they're still in a dome, and it's the Chargers, which is they're terrible against the pass, just terrible against the pass and wide receivers. I'm expecting another huge Dak and CD week this week, so I'm rolling with Dak again.
Yeah, no reason to bench Dak here. Miles Isle. Would you trade Hawkinson and Myers for Cup and Schultz?
Yeah, I'm not giving up on Cup yet.
No.
Sure, you're taking a hit at tight end, but look, Hawkinson is now going to have Hall and Dobbs, so we don't know. We can't assume Hawkinson is just going to be as good. Give me Cup and Schultz, and even if you have to drop Schultz and stream, I'm okay with that too. I'll still gamble on Cup.
He's saying he could be Njoku instead of Schultz. I think that's fine. Take Njoku, but yeah, I would do this. Get Cup.
Yeah.
Joker, it's his night. Trade away Jones, Rice, and Pacheco for Downs, Schultz, and Hollywood. Oh, he already did this.
Are you traded away? Is that Aaron Jones? I'm assuming Aaron Jones, Rice, and Pacheco for Downs, Schultz, and Hollywood. I mean, look, if you're trading Jones and Pacheco, and you're getting Downs and Hollywood, I assume you have a lot of running backs. Because you traded 2 running backs for 2 wide receivers.
Yeah. I mean, Schultz, again, at this point is just whatever, right? We can almost just ignore him in this deal.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like it's probably a slight overpay. Because I do like Rice. I think Pacheco will be okay. Jones, I'm really having my doubts. But I like Hollywood and I like Downs, but yeah, Schultz is just kind of like whatever. Like Schultz, like, huh? Schultz? Like maybe if you would have gotten something else besides Schultz, but I mean, it shouldn't be horrible for you, but I probably in a vacuum prefer the Jones, Rice, and Pacheco side.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm not excited about Jones right now, but I feel like you could have gotten more back here. So it's okay. It's not the worst. I mean, look, maybe Hollywood does come up big rest of the season with Kyler there. I think it's fine. This helps your receiving core. So if those running backs were expendable, then you could come out ahead. We buy homes near you, 512. 16.
Oh boy, here we go.
And it's non-PPR.
Which incredible stud do you not start?
Yeah. All right. So, well, at QB, got Halcar, Dak, and Stroud. Just go Dak.
Well, it's got to be Dak. Dak 1, Hal 2.
Quarterback, just needs 1 for wide receiver 2 and quarterback. So only one of these receivers: Godwin, Davis, Deontay, Downs, Flowers, Collins, Addison, or Higgins.
I mean, it's a 6-team league. You can't go for like floor.
No.
So I think I got to go with Higgins. I think he's the one that could have the biggest game out of these guys. Can't really just, like Godwin, sure. I like Godwin. I like Deontay Johnson this week. But I mean, what is 15 PPR points going to do for you in a 6-team league? When your opponent's probably starting, their wide receiver 2 is probably CeeDee Lamb. I don't know. Right? Their wide receiver 2 is Jalen Waddle. I don't know. So I think I got to go Higgins and just hope he goes off in a plus matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I like Deontay. Like you said, I feel like he's safe, but you need probably more upside there. Go with Higgins. I think that's fine. Quinner. What's up, Quinn? Getting desperate. Uh-oh. That's never good. Let's see what the question is. Oh, wait. Actually, let's do this first so I don't skip it. Jedi Cough. Would you drop Jason for Dotson?
I don't know. That's close. PPR and non-PPR? Like, so you have this decision in 2 leagues? JSN's coming on. Starting to come on a little bit. Oh, man. I don't know. This is close.
I think I'd prefer Dotson still. He's getting more target volume. Although I would, well, actually not even. Dotson scored a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. We'll say this, Quinn. I don't see your actual question, Quinn. He said forgot to mention 2 flex half PPR. I don't see. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's not him. All right, Quinn. Maybe try reposting your question because I actually don't see it anywhere. I don't know if you can find it, but
Quinn.
Yeah, Quinner.
Let's see. I really wish this thing had a search feature.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you see us like staring at the side of the screens because we're scrolling through hundreds of comments trying to find the one. All right, we'll get to you, Quinn. Just repost your question. That might just be easiest. Let's do Rise. What's up, Rise? 10-team league, traded D-Hop, T-Law to get Joe Burrow. You like that?
I mean, I rarely like trading a player for a quarterback. I'm still not super high on D-Hop, but I don't know. I mean, it's a 10-team league. Maybe D-Hop is like your wide receiver 5 or something. But I don't know. I think I might have just held D-Hop and T-Law and streamed a quarterback this week.
Yeah. Only if D-Hop was completely worthless to you, and then would it be okay?
Yeah.
It's fine, though. All right. John Delgado was offered Pollard and Ridley for Lamb.
I don't think so. I mean, Pollard and Ridley, 2 guys that's like, have we just seen what they are now? Is this just what we're going to get? Like, they're just going to be frustrating, underperforming. Every now and then, like, Pollard will score. Every now and then, Ridley will score, and we'll feel good about him for a week, and then they'll go back to frustrating us. I think Lamb, I mean, I said it all off season. I said outside of Jefferson, Chase, Cup, and Tyreek, I thought Lamb had the next best chances finishing as the wide receiver 1. He's obviously not going to finish as a wide receiver 1 because he's not going to catch Tyreek Hill. Nobody's probably going to catch Tyreek Hill. Well, maybe A.J. Brown. He's actually giving him a run for his money. But I think Lamb's going to be fantastic rest of the season. I'm keeping Lamb here.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you want a guy you feel better about at running back because Ramondre has been kind of frustrating. Sanders is just worthless at this point, and you're still waiting on Kyren Williams. So it's not a bad deal. I mean, it's definitely not something you would just flat out say no to, but I don't think this is the time to sell away Lamb. I feel he's too valuable.
Yeah.
Let's see. Flirty's got one. So continuing the previous question, has CMC JT Swift. Very nice. Try to package one. No luck. I mean, it's okay. You can wait it out. You got a good enough team. I think you don't have to make a move. So again, I know trading makes sense, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. You need another partner to be willing to do what you want. Don't trade just for the sake of trading. Boomer feels he has to do something, but you always know that doing something is not always the right thing. Sometimes nothing is better.
Sometimes.
Depends.
Yeah.
He's got 4 straight losses, so feeling a little desperation there. I mean, I know you want to bench. Look, I hope you didn't bench Devontae Smith. We told you not to.
Yeah.
Sanders, like, sure, you can cut Sanders.
Yeah. I mean, I see what's going on. Like, Bijan's been underwhelming. Adams has been really bad for 4 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Smith prior to last week had been really bad. Puka's been like good and bad. So I see why. Like Pierce has been unstartable. Sanders has been unstartable. I mean, I see why looking at your team why you've lost four straight for sure. But you're 3-5. I've got a 3-5 team. I'm certainly not out of it. So
let's hope for Adams to get better.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, like, you can't hope for too long.
Connor's coming back, but not yet.
Yeah, you still got to wait another week for Connor. I mean, yeah. I mean, you might try to trade Puka while he still has some value. I'm just trying to think, like, who do you package him with? Puka and
maybe Sutton.
I mean, maybe, but like, what are you trading? Like, if you're trading 2 wide receivers, what are you looking for? A better wide receiver?
A better wide receiver.
A running back?
You need an RB2. You don't want Chuba as your every week RB2.
What's that?
You don't want Chuba as your every week RB2.
No, probably not. Probably not. So, yeah, maybe. I mean, look, maybe you could try to trade Devonta Smith coming off a huge game if he gets you a really good RB back.
Yeah, and then you don't have to worry about benching Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Stark Jeter. What is up? Goff is on bye, Cousins is out, and my league doesn't trade. That's the worst kind of league. So, who'd you go? Garoppolo, Minshew, Levis, Young, Jones.
I mean, can't go Garoppolo after last night. No thanks. I'm probably going Minshew. If you want to really roll the dice, you can go Levis, chase that huge game. I mean, I'm not playing Daniel Jones. I'm not playing Bryce Young. There's no way I'm starting Jimmy G after last night. Minshew's been okay. If you want to go for it, if you want to roll the dice, go with Levis. But it was me, I'm probably going Minshew.
Yeah, the yellow play is Levis, but again, the better matchup is definitely Minshew, right? Then they get the Panthers this week.
Yeah.
Just go Minshew. You'll be fine. All right. And then Gexy Guo. 12-team PPR, 4-4, lost 3 straight. So let's see, you got Garrett Wilson, London, Dell, Palmer, Shaheed. Sam Howell's the QB. That's not a bad thing. Goddard, Pollard, and Hunt. Connor is lurking. Should I make a trade for a wide receiver 1 or an RB1?
Yeah, but I mean, again, maybe you could package Garrett Wilson and Pollard. Garrett Wilson and, maybe Hunt. People believe the name. But it's going to be.
Try to trade Hunt, yeah.
But is somebody like Garrett Wilson and Hunt, is that getting you DeAndre Swift?
Try it. I would definitely try to trade Hunt and package it with one of those receivers. The only receivers who really have value right now are probably Garrett Wilson, but also London. Garrett Wilson's your wide receiver 1 and London's your wide receiver 2. It's pretty impressive that you're 4-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to do something here. So, yeah, try to trade Hunt, package him with one of those receivers, and see what you can get. Okay, better receiver. All right, let's see. Mario. Oh, yeah, right. Mario Acevedo. Let's see. The question is about Stafford being injured, Fields on the bench. What do you think about Levis? You need somebody.
Risky, but we'll see. We'll see. I have my doubts, but at least he's not afraid to sling it.
We've talked about some of these quarterbacks that are out there. Hal right now is a better choice if he's available. Not who's available on your waiver wire. Stroud looked like a great choice, but it's been kind of a little volume lately. but at least you can feel decent about him. So I think this week he's not the worst choice. All right, let's see here. We got Max Leitner. Just trade away Drake London and Downs for Hollywood.
I don't think so. I mean, I always hate saying that I don't like a trade somebody made because no one wants to hear the trade they made. But I just don't know if there's a huge difference between Hollywood and London. And then you threw in Downs for like no reason. Like, I don't think you're going to regret it. Like, I don't think like London or Downs are going to go, one of those guys are going to go nuts down the stretch and Hollywood won't. You're going to regret it. I just think it was a bit of an overpay for Hollywood. Like, I think London and Hollywood to me feels very close, very fair. So I don't think you needed to add in Josh Downs.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Notice a few people saying they're trading for Hollywood, I guess, because Kyler's coming back. It makes sense. So that's fine. Like you said, I think it's a little bit of an overpay. Downs is looking better. So preferred if he would have got something else back, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Also gave Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Deontay, and Watson. I think he means have.
Also have. Yes.
So you gave all those guys away for what? All right, no. Okay, if you have those guys, that's okay. And then running backs. Okay, QB's a target. You want to roll with Stroud rest of the season, but you don't want to trade for a QB, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade for a QB. And like, you're deep at wide receiver, so I mean, losing London and Downs, you probably won't really notice it. But no, I'm not trading for a QB. I mean, I don't know who's on the waiver wire. Obviously, if Dak is still out there, which he still is in plenty of leagues, he's my number one. I also like Howell, if he's still out there, which he is in a lot of leagues. So yeah, it just depends who's out there.
Yeah, but you don't need to trade for a QB.
No,
Gexy for the previous message, besides Pollard Hunt, also has Jaleel and Spears on the bench. That's not going to help you in the trade market, I don't think.
Yeah, nah, can't trade those guys, especially Spears. The whole hope with Spears was hopefully Derrick Henry gets traded, and he didn't. So now the only real hope for Spears is, well, we don't want to say it because we don't want to put that out in the world.
No. Yeah, Hunt is the guy I want to trade right now. Has some value. He's been scoring. Has some name value. So trade Hunt for something. Even if you feel like it's like a lateral move with another running back, go for another running back who's getting more consistent touches or just has more upside. But try to do a package deal first. Marcus needs a running back, wide receiver, and a flex. JT, Swift, Cup, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson.
Running back 2 is going to be Swift. Man, it's hard to bench JT against the Panthers, though. Maybe, but I might. Oh, but I still can't bench Cup.
Nah, you have to start Cup.
I'm still starting quarterback. If he bombs again this week, then we can start talking about him as not a must start. But I still have to go with Cup. I think I'm going Swift and JT. Or am I going JT and Deontay? But man, I really don't want to bench Swift either. I think if it's my team, I'm going Cup, JT, and Swift.
Yeah, it's tough to bench those running backs. I think Deontay's fine, but still more floor than ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Go with the first 3. You can't bench Cup. 95 needs 3 of these. Olave, Adams, Addison, Myers, Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, Addison, and Adams would be my 3 choices.
Going Addison over Olave.
Sorry. Garrett Wilson, Olave, and Adams would be my 3 choices. Sorry about that. Not Addison. Yeah, it would be like if Kirk Cousins was still playing, it probably would be Addison. Addison would be almost like, don't even think about it, just start him. But he's not. Right. So it's Garrett Wilson, Olave, and Adams.
Yeah, I think this is a group where I can say no to Addison because of the circumstances. Still trusting Adams. I mean, you got a Raiders receiver either way. You got a Raiders receiver. Go Adams, Wilson, Olave. And to tight end, Kincaid or Waller. I don't care if Waller plays. I go Kincaid.
Yeah, just go Kincaid. Don't risk it with Waller and that hamstring. Just go Kincaid.
And then said he was offered Jacobs for Brees. You like Jacobs or Brees?
Brees. I like Brees better.
All right, so keep Brees.
Yeah.
And
Brees.
Gabriel Law, Standard League, Burrow, Kamara, Bijan, Cup, Kirk, Higgins, Rice, Dotson, Ferguson. Got Murray and Kyron chilling. 16-team league. Trade ideas.
That's a good team for a 16-team league. I mean, you got a stud quarterback. I guess you got 2 stud running backs. I guess we have to consider Alvin Kamara a stud running back again. I don't know what is up with football this year. We got Raheem Mostert, we got Adam Thielen, we got Alvin Kamara. Like, this is not football. It's not supposed to be old dudes dominating. What is going on right now? I mean, maybe, Cup should be dominating. Maybe I don't know. He should be. You got Kirk, you got Higgins, you got Rice, Dotson, Ferguson. This is a 16-team league. This is great. This would be great for a 12-team league. This would be great. I don't know. I don't think you need to do anything here for a 16-team league. This is pretty stacked, honestly. Pretty stacked.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to make many trades. Again, you get Ferguson is actually scored touchdowns. It's okay. Dogs are going insane again. And I know we don't get trick-or-treaters around here where I live, so it's not that. All right. Yeah. You should be fine. I mean, I guess Kamara wasn't there for you. Bijan's had a couple down weeks. Cup's had a couple down weeks. I think 16-team league, you should be fine with this team.
Yeah, you should be way fine.
Chris, all in. Defense to stream this week.
Let's see. Yeah, Falcons should be fine. Whoops. I haven't really looked. I haven't even had time to look at my waivers yet.
I mean, Falcons make the most sense
against
there
the
with
Vikings. That should be great. Saints against the Bears should be great. Packers against potentially, well, I don't really like their defense though. Patriots get the Commanders. I'm not buying into Sam Howell no longer taking sacks.
No.
Browns against the Cardinals with Clayton Tune. That looks fantastic to me. That looks phenomenal.
If they're still out there, yeah, go Cleveland. But otherwise, I would think Falcons are fine.
Yeah. I will say I did see that the Giants did sign Tommy DeVito to the active roster. If for some reason Daniel Jones doesn't play this week, I got to like the Raiders against the Giants and Tommy DeVito. If that happens, though. Only if that happens.
Yeah. But that's probably because Tyrod Taylor's out because of his rib thing, right? I think that's probably why. But yeah. Well, hey, Daniel Jones could leave again. You never know. Chief Perp. Kincaid or McBride.
I got to go Kincaid. I got to give Kincaid the slight edge. He's in the better offense, got the better QB. I got to go Kincaid.
Go Kincaid. Agree. Paul Garza, would you use the number 3 waiver clam on Hal if you have Geno?
I mean, probably not. It depends what other QBs are out there. If there's other QBs that I think are good enough, I'd probably just wait and pick up a QB tomorrow morning, whoever's left over.
Yeah, I mean, the number 3 claim isn't something you have to sit and hold on to and, hoard. But you shouldn't have to worry about it. And then we got Alex Ayala again. Is Pierce drop-worthy in a 12-team league?
I think he is. What are we hanging on to Dameon Pierce for?
Right.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, he's I don't know what's going to change here. The offensive line isn't going to suddenly miraculously get that much better. Pierce has just not been great. And even when he's gotten goal line opportunities, he hasn't cashed in. So yeah, you don't have to hold out hope at this point. You can't just hold. It's been 8 weeks. Like it's not just a short sample size anymore.
Right.
And then Steven, he says he's a lucky 71. I'm sure it's all skill. Pick 2, Pickens, Watson, or Taysom. You say we're out on the Packers. Go Taysom.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's either Pickens or Taysom. Am I really going to play Taysom over Pickens? I don't think I can.
We said pick 2, so it would be Pickens and Taysom.
Oh, yeah, then don't play. I'm not playing Watson. Not playing Watson. Yeah, give me Pickens and Taysom.
Yeah. Should I keep Warren rostered? You don't need to.
You don't have to. It depends who you're picking up. I mean, I wouldn't drop them to pick up like an even deeper stash. But if there's somebody good on the waiver wire, yeah, it's fine.
I don't need to keep Warren. No need. Julio wants to know, did you drop Stevenson for Deontay or DeAndre?
Stevenson for Deontay or DeAndre? I would definitely drop somebody for Deontay, but is Stevenson your worst player? I mean, I guess he might be.
Sounds like it was.
I mean, if Deontay Johnson is on waiver wire and DeAndre Hopkins is on waiver wire, I mean, nobody's probably picking up Stevenson, right? So I guess.
Yeah, these players on waivers, exactly. It's not like you have to worry too much about who you stream. So sure, if you need Deontay this week, why not? Sebastian Arias. All right. Would you trade away Bill? Who's Bill?
Bill Belichick?
Bill the cat? Aaron Jones, Goddard, to receive Saquon, Ingram, Garrett Wilson.
I don't know who Bill is, but I would definitely prefer Saquon over Aaron Jones. I think Ingram, even though I prefer Goddard, I think Ingram is good enough at tight end. And if that's Bill Belichick, I would greatly prefer Garrett Wilson over Bill Belichick. I really don't know. Right now, I'm strongly leaning the Saquon side. But we really need to know who that Bill is.
It can't be Hill, right? Is it supposed to be Hill?
Well, see, that would absolutely change things if it's Tyreek Hill, because now all of a sudden I don't think I do this.
No, definitely. Yeah, Sebastian, if you want to clarify, just so we know what we're talking about here, who Bill is supposed to be. What do you think about Ritter? Not good things.
Yeah, not good things. But he is at home this week. He's better at home, right? They're at home this week, aren't they?
Yeah, if he even plays, is he the starter?
Yeah, have we heard anything about that? What's going on there?
I don't think so.
Arthur Smith said he would announce the starter.
Still can't think good things, even if he's starting. I mean, he's been starting all year. That's not the issue here. So, yeah, not good. But yeah, Sebastian, go ahead and put another comment there just to let us know. It doesn't have to be a super chat, but just so we know for sure who Bill is.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll wait for that. And we are going to get to the rest of the super chats. We're just about 10 minutes behind. That's not too bad for us. I know some people are out doing their thing on Halloween. We're still here for you guys for a little while longer. Before we get to the rest of the super chats, reminder, Underdog, sign up now because you get that 100% deposit match up to $500. Just make sure you use our promo code. It's Endgame. You can also just click the link that's down below in the description. So check it out now. You double your deposit just for signing up. If you haven't tried it, again, limited time, double your money just for becoming a new user. And then you get the special. This week it's Kenny Pickett. On Thursday night, just needs 1 yard, go higher. You get that free pick combined with any other pick. And we always tell you some of our favorite picks in our videos and our live shows. And then we even share them sometimes at that Discord. So check it out right now. The link is down below, or just download the app and make sure you use promo code Endgame so that you can take advantage of all of those things. All right, Pilot Jones. All right. Trade Waddle for Olave and Rasheed.
I think value-wise it's fair, but again, when it's fair, I'm going to prefer the better player. I think Waddle is the best player out of these guys. So I'm going to keep Waddle, but I think it's fair. I do think it's fair. Value-wise, it's fair.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close here. I guess if you need depth, I mean, is Rice a guy that you want to flex or start going forward? If you need the depth, it's fine. I think Olave is good. He's going to be comparable to Waddle pretty much. I mean, I'm keeping faith in Olave. So if you need Rice, sure, don't do it just to get an extra like body for depth though. Apex Predator RE4. 12th team is 5-3. Herbert, Mixon, Jacobs, Gibbs, Rashawn, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, Higgins, Tank Dell, Jason, Ferguson. What upgrades to make?
I mean, I know Jacobs was supposed to be your RB1, but I'd like an RB1. Look, Gibbs coming off a huge game. If you could package Gibbs in maybe JSN, he's had touchdowns 2 weeks in a row, and get like a Swift, get a Bijan, maybe even get a Saquon, somebody like that. Maybe Gibbs and JSN's not enough. Maybe you'd have to give up like, but man, if you give up Gibbs and like say Devonta Smith, now your wide receivers really take a hit.
Yeah, I don't think this team can afford to trade away receivers.
Yeah.
I don't mind selling on Gibbs or selling on Mixon. I mean, maybe just trade one of those running backs for a high-end receiver.
Yeah, maybe that's the better way. Instead of getting the running back, trade one of those guys and get a high-end wide receiver. Like go get Devontae Adams. Go get Cooper Kupp. Might be able to get Cooper Kupp right now.
You never know. You never know. There you go. All right, and then Quinn, by the way, if you're still listening, Quinner, repost your question because it didn't go through. Like some of your comments went through, but the actual question that you had didn't go through. So just post it again, regular chat. AJ Fisk is 2-6 in a 10-teamer. Had Watson, Cousins, Goff is on bye. Jacobs, White, Achane, Cup, Sutton, Cooper, Smith, Kittle needs a QB. All right, so for this week, which by the way, I hope you already dropped Watson and dropped Cousins.
Yeah, you can definitely drop Cousins. You can drop Watson.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm hoping you dropped Watson. All right, yeah. Carr, Lee, Levis, or Mayfield.
I mean, there's a right answer here. I just don't want to say it.
It's not Baker Mayfield.
No. I'm going to say this. There's a right answer here, and it's not the last two. That's how I'm going to word it. That's how I'm going to word it.
It's okay to like Derek Carr. It's okay to be a stan.
I'm definitely not a stan. I just always hate recommending Derek Carr because you never know when Derek Carr is just going to destroy your fantasy week.
Just go Carr. Be fine. And then running back, there's not much you can do, apparently. Wide receiver. Guys play Cup. Go Cooper this week. Hopefully you can play Smith also. Taylor. I mean, your team is not bad. Just had some bad luck, I think. Obviously, at quarterback, you've had bad luck.
Yeah.
You can roll with Goff for the rest of the season.
I mean, I think the problem with this team when I look at it for a 10-teamer, you didn't have Cup for a long time, and then the last 2 weeks, you basically haven't had Cup again.
Yeah.
And Jacobs has not been what you expected Jacobs to be. And then, of course, you got a few games out of Achane, but that was it. So I see why you're 2-6. I mean, you're 2-6. You might need to try to trade Achane, but only if you get like a really good running back and a really good wide receiver in return. Like, don't just trade him to trade him. But I mean, if you lose this week and you're 2-7, When is Achane eligible to come back? Week 10 or week 11?
I feel like it should be week 10, but doesn't mean he will be activated. It depends if he's ready.
I mean, for your team, you might have to try to trade him, but again, like, get 2 very good players back. Don't settle. Don't trade him and settle.
Yeah. This team is going to need to shake things up a little bit, but don't go crazy. All right, and then Max Leitner with another. How do you rank these guys on waivers? You got Taysom, of course, Levis, Hal, Dotson, Demario Douglas. Already has Stroud. Okay, would you go with a quarterback if you have Stroud? You prefer Hal?
Yeah, I assume. It's weird because it's like, what order would you pick these guys up off in waivers? And we have a tight end, a QB, and a wide receiver, and a wide receiver. I would probably go Dotson first. You got Mark Andrews, so I'm not going to prioritize Taysom Hill at all. I would go Dotson first, probably. Howell second, because I'm like, if I don't get Howell, that's fine. I'll roll with Stroud. Not a big deal. I'm not going to stress about it. Douglas third, and then I wouldn't even try to pick up Levis or Taysom Hill, to be honest, if it was me. Just because you have Andrews and you're going to have Howell or Stroud.
Yeah, so in this group, I'm putting Levis last. I don't know who your receivers are, Max, but Douglas is not like a high priority pickup. He's fine if you need somebody, but I'll put him probably fourth. I guess I'm going backwards. Taysom Hill third, and Howell, if you want a quarterback, is fine, but you don't need him, and put Dotson first. All right, now this is interesting. Mary. Wide receiver heavy. Would you trade Reek for Kelsey?
No way. No, you need more than Kelsey. I need more than just Kelsey. Look, Kelsey has been great for a tight end. Tyreek has been great for fantasy, like for whatever position. Doesn't matter. I need Kelsey plus if I'm going to trade Tyreek Hill. Not enough here. Nope, not enough.
Yeah. I mean, you're wide receiver heavy. Do you have anybody who's close but not Tyreek Hill? Like anybody who's good?
Right.
Yeah. It shouldn't take Tyreek to get Kelsey.
No.
All right. Now, what about this one? Anthony Gonzalez, Gibbs for Cup.
Yeah. Look. Apologies ahead of time if somehow Gibbs is awesome rest of the year and Cup is a bust, but I'm going with Cup. I'm risking it. Give me Cup.
All right. Before we get to the next one, here is what I suspected and was kind of afraid of. Sebastian Arias. It was Hill, not Bill. So let's go back to this. It's Hill.
Yeah. I think it's a no now. I mean, I just can't trade away Tyreek Hill. He looks like he's going to be the answer to the test is going to be, did you have Tyreek Hill this year? That looks like it's going to be the answer to the test. You have Tyreek Hill. So I'm not trading him away.
I know you're getting Saquon, but it's still not equivalent, right? No. You're trading away Tyreek Hill. It should be more than that. Because you're not just trading Tyreek Hill, you're also trading away, okay, Goddard, Ingram, let's just say about the same. Then Aaron Jones is, don't trade away Hill. All right. Sven Dragon. Trey McBride or Jake Ferguson?
I think I'm still going McBride. Ferguson's interesting. So. What's that?
I think so too. Without Dobbs, make it sound like that's a bad thing, but I don't think that's a
problem. It's not quite as good of a matchup for Ferguson this week. I liked him a lot last week against the Rams. I'm going McBride.
Yeah, go McBride as well. Then 95 also got offered Ramondre for Addison. Already has HN, Bijan, and Brees. 'Brees. 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 ' but I don't know which side. So I assume when you say got offered, meaning that's the player that you would be
Yeah.
getting. If you're getting Ramondre for Addison,
Yeah,
there's
just
no
keep
point to do
Addison. You
that.
got 3. Yeah, just keep Addison.
Yeah, if it's the other way around, well, yeah, I would just say right now, either way for your team, Addison's the guy I prefer. And then welcome Eric Moser is a member. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Quinn, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see the question. I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't see the actual question. So I don't know. Maybe see if he'll come through again. Let's go to Victor Flores. To Barkley, Jones, Keenan, Wallace, Kincaid, Josh Downs, London, Hunt, Ford, Waller, Osborne, Connors on IR, Murray's on IR, tied for second at 4-4. All right. Not sure. Trade or hold. What do we do with this team? Get like a
I'd
better
definitely be looking
RB2
to
than
trade
Jones.
Hunt, but I don't know what. I mean, if you could trade Hunt and get, like, you definitely need wide receiver help here. So if you could trade Hunt and get, like, who did I say? I put Hunt a lot on the buy low. Who was I saying? You get Nico Collins, maybe. People are pretty low on him right now. Deontay Johnson.
Yeah,
You
that's a
can
good
trade
one.
Hunt. If you can trade Hunt and get guys like that, I would do it.
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. Keenan Allen. Your team's solid. I mean, this feels kind of like a 4-4 team. Try to upgrade some. Get a more high end RB2. You're actually pretty good at receiver, I think. You can mix and match there. Let's see, Kincaid. Yeah, I think that's fine. And like when Connor comes off IR, that's good. Then you will have a pretty solid RB2. But yeah, maybe try to upgrade, do a little 2-for-1 deal here. Ayush needs help. PPR, 2 running back, 2 receivers in the flex. Chuba, Pollard, White, Foreman, Ford, Pittman, Addison, Amari Cooper, Watson, MT, and Palmer. Would you bench Pollard for Ford?
I don't think I can do that. I don't think so. I know Pollard's getting tough to trust, but yeah, that's a little too deep for me. I'm still going Pollard.
Yeah, not this week. Let's see Ford back full-fledged. So Pollard, will you go? I mean, not Ford. You're gonna go Pollard and Chuba probably, or you go White.
It's PPR. It's close between Chuba and White, but Chuba's got the better matchup. White's matchup's not terrible. I think I'm going Chuba and Pollard this week. Chuba and Pollard.
Yeah, I mean, with this group, you got to keep Pollard in there. Let's see, 2 receivers: Pittman, Addison, Amari Cooper, and Watson, and MT, and then Palmer. MT is never a yes. We're out on Watson. Is it Cooper and Pittman?
Yeah, I'm done doubting Pittman. I'm done doubting Cooper. I'm just starting them. Just start them.
I've learned my lesson. Pittman and Cooper. I mean, you can easily say no to Addison now because of that situation. So that's pretty easily Pittman and Cooper. But what about the flex?
Flex. I might go Rachaad White in the flex.
Yeah.
I do like Ford, but only if he's like full practice, fully healthy. I'm not sure he's there yet. Not doing Watson, not doing MT. Really don't like Palmer this week. Yeah, I might flex Rachaad White in PPR. I like that.
All right, there you go, Ayush. No, you don't need to bench Pollard. And then we have Augustin Olvera, D-Hop, or Deontay. Who you like on Thursday?
Deontay for me. I really like Deontay. I'm not banking on. Like, if it happens again, okay. I gotta rethink my stance on Will Levis and DeAndre Hopkins. But until not gonna chase that crazy game. Deontay's in a great spot. 20 targets since he's been back from hamstring. Remember, he only played 66% of the snaps the first week. It's a great matchup for him. I'm going Deontay.
Yeah, I'm not not starting D-Hop. I mean, I still think he's a strong start, but I just got to like Deontay. The matchup is so good against Tennessee. Yeah, and I feel better now knowing that it's not going to be Trubisky. All right, finally, it has come through. We've seen it. Quinner's question. Off to a slow start again. All right, so let's fix this here. Need to make a move. Thinking of flipping Mahomes to improve. You have Patty. Patty Mahomes, I guess. I didn't know.
I guess so.
That sounds a little insulting. Cup, Watson, Palmer, Sutton, Dotson, Jameson Williams, CMC, B-Rob, Tajay, Rashawn, Waller, Musgrave, and Kyler. Okay, so I think we need some help at receiver.
Yeah, well, I mean, we need help at running back too, though. I mean, you got CMC, but
yeah, B-Rob is like playable. He's okay, but Watson is the guy who's killing you. Obviously, Sutton has been okay. He's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can trade Mahomes because you feel like you're going to get Kyler Murray in another week. You could just stream this week. You drop Musgrave.
Does Patrick Mahomes still have a ton of value? He wasn't like incredible this year, and now he's coming off a really bad game. I mean, I'm sure he still has good value because he's Patrick Mahomes, but I don't think it's like peak Patrick Mahomes value. I mean,
no, it's definitely not peak Mahomes value, but just on name value, yeah, you should be able to get something big here.
Yeah. Is this a team that trades CMC? I mean, I know you don't want to trade CMC, but he's not going to help you this week. You're 2-6. I mean, if you could get, say Stephon Diggs and Bijan Robinson, do you trade CMC?
I can't trade CMC. I think that's the main advantage. The one advantage this team has is that they've had CMC. If anything, maybe try to trade Cup if you're worried about Stafford and worried about this week and, going forward. Because Cup should have as much value, not as much as CMC, but he still has a ton of value. I might just try to do a reverse with, again, very rare that we recommend doing the trade away your stud to get two players, but in this case, you might need to, Quinn. So I might do Cup for two good receivers. Really good receivers, I mean.
Yeah.
And then maybe Mahomes too.
I just worry that people are freaking out about Cup right now, and he's not gonna carry the same value. But
yeah, I mean, if you don't get really good players, don't do it. But look, maybe this is the time you make a move for. Let me see. We can get like Hollywood plus. It has to be somebody good enough. Nico is a good buy low. I don't know. That's enough for Cup. Target those kind of players. I think you can trade. I think you definitely can trade Mahomes. Drop Musgrave to stream a tight end to stream a quarterback this week. I don't know. I might just drop Waller and just get a better tight end just in general. Actually, I'd probably drop Jameson Williams.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hate dropping Waller. I mean, you might even be able to package Cup and Waller to a team who still like believes in Waller and is desperate at tight end.
There you go.
I would hate just straight dropping him.
So work some sort of combination, like trade Mahomes. I can't believe I'm saying this. Trade Cup, trade Waller. Try to get yourself two really good receivers and a good running back. Hopefully that helps. All right. Let's go to Jose Manuel Rojo. Levis, is he a good streamer this week? I mean, you can, but he's not our favorite.
Yeah, very, very, very risky.
All right. So who do you feel is a better streamer than Levis? We were going Howell. Who else?
Howell. I mean, if Dak is somehow still out there, I like Dak. Who else do I like? Let me look.
You like Minshew over Levis?
Oh yeah. I mean, Levis is pretty low for me. Like, this isn't. Wow, like I said, I've seen lots of quarterbacks come out, light it up in their first start and then crash back down to earth. I mean, look, Tyson Bagent, I know he's not the same pedigree, and I know he didn't have the same kind of game in the first game, but remember, Tyson Bagent looked pretty good in his first game, and yeah, saw how that worked. I'm not saying that's going to be Will Levis, but yeah, like Minshew, I mean, I hate to say it, but I actually do kind of like Carr this week against Chicago at home.
There you go.
Certainly like Howell.
All right. Plenty of options. Levis is not, not bad. He's not the worst option, but there's other guys who should be better. Let's see. Gilbert Paul, Taysom Hill, Dotson, Demario Douglas. Who would you prefer if you had to pick one to flex?
Can I really do Taysom Hill over Dotson or Douglas? I mean, they're all risky, right? They're all risky.
Yeah, it's funny. Douglas really has the best matchup by far. He gets to play Washington secondary, but I'm putting him third still. Dotson is ahead of him. I would go Dotson.
I would probably go Dotson too.
What's scary? This is a great idea, Chris KD. Scary as Halloween. A defensive kicker only.
Yeah, that would be scary for sure.
That's funny. All right. Happy Halloween. We'll stay on here for a little bit longer, guys. I know we got things to do. So,
thank you. Wow. More value than Netflix and Paramount Plus. Woo, we've made it. We are big time.
All right. We just need to get those W's. We need to turn it around. But look, if nothing else, just the entertainment value, I think.
Exactly.
You see Chris's expression when he has to say Derek Carr's name.
Yes, exactly.
Let's see. You're asking to show our teams. We don't have time for that. I have a
lot of teams. I'll say I have. Well, let's see. In redraft, I think I have 6 or 7. 6 or 7. I've got a few really, really strong teams. I've got a couple of they've still got a chance, but need some work teams. I don't really have any teams that I feel like are dead in the water, thankfully.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I will say the one team I'm most proud of, and not just because it's my only undefeated team, but the fact that I have a team that's in first place with Zach Moss and Rachaad White at running back. It's like,
well, it shouldn't have been in first place, except for Jimmy Garoppolo. I should be in first place after last night. I should have beat you, but
shoulda, woulda, coulda. We'll see. The playoffs are a different beast, right? Doesn't really matter.
For sure. Yeah, I think, did I move to third in that league now, or am I still second? I'm third, but you're the only team, although you have way more points than me, but you're the only team with more points than me. So
yeah, it'll be interesting at the playoff time. Look, here's an undefeated team. All right, nice. Okay, so we have a super chat from Ertzwin Eifert, guessing maybe overseas. So welcome, Ertz. Got an 8-0 Superflex roster in a 12-team PPR Dynasty League. Got Russ, Stafford, and Baker as my QBs. Wow, that is amazing that you're 8-0 with those guys as your QBs. Definitely should upgrade. You got Pollard, Kamara, Mixon, Algier, and Foreman, Kupp, Keenan, McLaurin, Lockett, Myers, and Dobbs.
I'm still curious how this team is 8-0 with those QBs. You didn't have Kamara for 3 weeks. Pollard hasn't been great. You didn't have Kupp for 4 weeks. Wow. All right.
Hey, all right. So how to upgrade a QB is the question. And as far as picks, love the information here. Have 2/3 and 3/4.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not going to be too much to get a quarterback in a super flex, but
here's the thing: you're in because I mean, you're 8-0, so you're obviously going for it. So you don't want to trade away like a Kamara. You don't want to trade away a Kupp. You don't want to trade away a Keenan because those guys can help you win the championship this year. I mean, maybe Dobbs has some value in Dynasty, but I mean, this is super flex. Like, he doesn't have that much value.
Yeah, this is a win now team, obviously. And you think Algier? Maybe some people in Dynasty will be interested in Algier.
I mean, sure, but again, we're talking about super flex. So, if you're going to go get a QB, you got to pay a stiff price.
Right.
Like, who's trading a very good QB in Superflex, for Algier and Dobbs? Like, hopefully nobody, right? Hopefully nobody's doing that. So it's going to be tough because you don't want to you don't want to trade these guys. It'd be easier if you're like, hey, I'm a rebuilding team. I'd be like, yeah, cool. Trade away Kamara, trade away Cup, trade away Keenan, trade these guys away. Go get some young QBs, go get some draft picks. But you're not. You're going for it. So you need these guys. So, and you don't really have, like, if you had a first round pick, maybe I could say, like, okay, package a first and Dobbs to a team that's rebuilding and go get, like, I don't know, who's an older QB that's actually been good this year. Well, can't get Cousins anymore. He's out. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know who is there even to get.
I mean, who's an upgrade? That's the thing. You're asking for an upgrade.
Maybe Dak, because like he's not valued super highly in Dynasty, and he is a little bit up there in age, like a little bit.
Maybe Dak. Maybe Dak.
So I mean, but who are you gonna like? Is somebody gonna take Baker and Dobbs for Dak? Baker, Dobbs, Algier for Dak? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
maybe Baker and Jacoby if they're like rebuilding, because Jacoby's still pretty young. He's like 26. Baker's still young-ish. Maybe Baker and Jacoby could get you Dak, but I really doubt it.
Maybe they need receivers. You go Myers and Dobbs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, you could go Baker, Jacoby, and Dobbs. I mean, you could just say, hey, just sell out to win this year, right? Just sell out to win.
Saying could use a 25 first if you need to.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not gonna, again, like, yeah, okay, again, if you were a rebuilding team, I'd say, yeah, trade one of these old dudes and get like a 24 first and a 25 first. Get some first, but you're not. You're 8-0. You might as well go for it. You're 8-0. Go for it. Go win the championship.
Yeah, definitely go for it. Just know in next year it might be different, but go for the championship. Yeah, Dak makes the most sense. And then Boomer, trust me, grateful for you.
Workshopping bad trades. That's what we're here for, to help you workshop bad trades.
So he dying to ship away Devontae Smith. Would you do it for Gibbs?
Dying? I don't think so. This is not the time. I would be wanting to trade for Gibbs. A, he's going on bye. B, Monty should be coming back. I mean, at least maybe wait till next week when they're coming back from bye.
Yeah, this is the time to be selling high on Gibbs, not buying high. Maybe a different running back. Aim somewhere else. Thomas, Douglas Shakir, Elijah Moore. Is he on the radar for any reason? No. Judy. No. I would just go Douglas.
Yeah, I think I would rank them Douglas, Judy, and then whatever, Shakir and Elijah Moore or whatever. I'm not buying into Shakir yet.
No. It'll be interesting with DPJ gone from Cleveland. Somebody's going to get on the field more. I wonder if that means Cedric Tillman gets worked in a little bit. David Bell. I don't know. All right. Alex Yala's got one more, and then we'll call it here. We'll wrap it up. So, okay, well, that's the problem, Boomer. You shouldn't be playing on ESPN leagues. You got to be playing on Sleeper or Yahoo or London for Javonte was rejected, he said.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
6-2. Drop KJ for Douglas or Shakir.
Yeah, I would drop him for Douglas.
Yeah, do that. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's do that because it is Halloween night. Got some movies to watch, some candy to eat or give away, and then eat what's left over. And we'll see you tomorrow for more trade questions, waiver wire questions, start sit questions, injury updates, all of that. We're here for it. Don't forget to check out all the start sit videos and more coming out the rest of this week. Everyone have a great Halloween night.